Welcome to IGN's super cool, totally rad indie game live stream from the Game Developers Conference. I'm Damon Hatfield. I'm joined by a very special guest, Khalif Adams, for the Spawn on Me podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. We have this indie mixer every year here in the IGN office during GDC. We have about 58 games just outside our studio, and we invite a bunch of people to come in and check them out and play them. Here on this show, we've curated 11 of the coolest looking ones to broadcast to you wherever you are in the world. So give you a little taste of what we're looking at here today, here in the IGN office. And our first game we're going to look at today is called Forced Showdown. This is an action roguelike deck builder. 3 things I really like, set in a futuristic gladiator TV show. A 4th thing I really like is Shirish. Shailesh.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for bringing Forced Showdown. All right, let's jump right into it.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, go ahead.
You can pick your character here. Well, right now we just have this one guy, and you also can choose the deck that you want to play with. You can build your own decks, as you will see later on. And
yeah, I'm really interested to see how you're blending roguelike with deck building.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I want to see how this is going to go.
yeah, so you have a character who's playing on this fictional TV show that futuristic dystopian thing, and you can. Wait, hang on. Yeah, so you have certain abilities,
Yes.
and then you clear each arenas. You get new abilities and you upgrade cards and things like that in every arena. So now we've cleared the first tutorial arena, and now you get your first skill after I kill these guys.
So I assume you have different heroes you can choose from?
Yeah, different heroes you can choose from. Right now there's only one, but as we progress in the game, you can unlock various heroes with their own abilities, and then each ability gets its own set of upgrades and cards that you get as you play. And with each arena, you choose which card you want to bring into play, and so now I got a new ability, which is Overcharge,
Nice.
which I can use like this. So it's going to push back all the enemies when I do that special attack.
So what made you want to go with this kind of a mix of these kinds of genres? Because these are 2 kind of separate ones, but this seems like something that works really well in this format.
I mean, I think that there's a big team behind this game. I'm just one part of the team, but I think the general consensus in the studio was that they all wanted to make a game that was like a love child of like a roguelike and a deck builder, like a Binding of Isaac with Hearthstone kind of thing. So
that's your tagline, right there.
yeah. And then it just we had already worked on a game which was Forced, which is an RPG, like arena-based roguelike, and so this is like the second iteration. So we added something new, which was the deck building element, and you can choose your skill trees and upgrades based on that.
So this takes place in the Forced universe.
Yes, it is in the Forced universe. And so this is the first card we get. It's an upgrade card.
Nice.
So this is going to change our overcharge ability that we just got. Give it 50% more damage.
And you build out your card decks, and then you also kind of add those to your characters over time.
Yes,
kind of build those up.
yeah. And so now the overcharge ability has a cooldown. So there could be different kinds of cards. There's upgrade cards, there's spell cards, and consumable cards. So upgrade cards will modify your abilities, skill cards will give you new skills, and consumables are like one-time use things that you can use to. And in each round you get different. Oh well, I died there because I was talking.
It's really hard to talk and play.
It's really hard to talk and play.
It's tricky.
All right, so is this the roguelike element? So you're defeated and you get kicked out.
Yeah.
You start over from nothing.
You start over from nothing.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So all the cards that you played in this round, they're still in your deck, but now when you start over, you choose which one you want to draw all over again. So it's like a fresh skill tree each time you play.
Interesting.
Nice enough. Very, very cool. I love the art style. The art style is really, really cool.
Thanks.
I like what you've done with this kind of top-down isometric, but you can also kind of see your character. Are there kind of cosmetic things that go with your character as well?
Yeah, as you go along, you can unlock more cosmetic things as well.
Cool.
Like you can buy stuff in the in-game
And we are on a gladiator-type TV show, right?
Yeah.
And these are the cameras that we see floating around. They're the ones capturing all the action.
They're capturing all the action, yes. And there's a voice-over that you don't hear right now. I guess maybe it's in the stream, but it's the voice of the host of the TV show, and he's called Caesar. And he keeps commenting and saying funny stuff about you and taunting you all the time and stuff like that.
And will you get
classic Caesar.
And you'll get to see that stuff, like from the camera's point of view?
No, no.
Oh, is it just the show
Yeah,
that you're on the show? Okay, cool.
I like. It seems like some of the enemies are exploding into like bloody bits.
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit. I appreciate that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So how many cards are we talking about? Hundreds of cards?
Yeah, there's hundreds of cards. I think over 400 maybe. Yeah.
And are they class specific?
Yes. Yeah. So like some of them are more generic, like stuff like heal and things like that. But then there are others that are dependent on the character. Like so, this character is from uses light abilities. A new character that you'll unlock is like Volko, which is like a volcano-based like fire abilities and stuff like that. So his upgrades are very different from.
Nice.
They'll be based on his abilities. And things.
And the advertisements that we see floating around the arena, are those sort of like tongue-in-cheek?
Yeah, they're all tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
I mean,
pop culture references?
Yes, yeah, and also some references to the Force universe itself.
I see.
Stuff like that. And the whole TV show in a game show kind of thing.
I'm sure it takes a lot to build a lore for a game, something like this. I'm sure it took a lot of time and a lot of effort to kind of get all that stuff together.
Yes, and I think that's also why it's set in the Force universe, because it's also a lore that we've already created. So we're trying to build it, make it richer with this game, and take it forward from there.
Awesome.
So what are you working towards? Are you just trying to improve your character as much as you can?
Yes, there's like 3 worlds in the game that you have to complete, and each world is guarded by a boss. And then when you finish the boss, you meet the final boss. And when you defeat him, you have successfully completed the game. You won the game show on the channel. So that's what you're trying to do.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I don't know. I'm not very good at playing in front of the camera, so I'm a bit nervous. But and also talking at the same time.
Don't be nervous.
Nobody's
you died twice. It's
Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
You know, the cap is usually 3.
Yeah.
So we only have 1 more to go.
Okay, we have 1 more.
No, you're okay. You're good.
Do you know how far out you are from release?
We are actually very close to release.
Oh,
We will be releasing 29th March.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
super close.
Really close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really close.
Nice.
Yeah.
And this is coming to PC, Steam? I
Yes,
assume?
Steam. Yes.
Was it coming to Mac also?
Well, right now it's PC.
Okay. Awesome.
All right, we have a bunch of games that we need to get to tonight. So I think that's all we have time for
All
the
right.
Force Showdown. But thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thank you for having me.
Super cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is only the first of the 11 games
Wow, they're going quick too. It's
I'm going
going
to show you tonight.
super fast.
While we bring in the our next guest here, Cleve, why don't you tell everyone about your Spawn on Me podcast?
Oh yeah, thank you
It's a
so
video
much.
game podcast.
Yeah, so we do. We talk about video games. So we talk about video games every week. A kind of underlying thing that makes us a little bit special, a little bit different, is that we talk about gaming from a personal perspective. Myself and my 2 co-hosts, Sharif Jackson and Cicero Holmes, and we talk about everything that everyone else doesn't want to talk about. We'll talk about race, we'll talk about gender, we'll talk about politics, and all that stuff.
Hot button issues.
Hot button issues, they're a little bit controversial, but we do it from a kind of very, very nuanced perspective.
I see.
A very, very nuanced perspective. I have to give shout outs to the folks who brought me in today. I have to give a shout out to the folks in the mix. Definitely thank you guys for bringing me in, helping to curate this wonderful showcase. And their platinum sponsors, Unity, and the folks from the Amazon App Store. Have to give a big shout out to them for helping making this happen today.
Yeah, we host this big indie mixer here at IGN, but the mix is really the one that puts it all together and invites all the devs.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Our next guest, our next game that we're going to show is called SkyTorn.
Hey.
Please welcome to the show, Noel Berry.
Hey.
So how
Tell us about SkyTorn, a procedurally generated action-adventure game. Is this correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so SkyTorn is a procedurally generated action-adventure game set kind of in the ruins of this post-apocalyptic world in the sky, and you're kind of exploring these floating islands and these dungeons and stuff like that, kind of trying to find the mystery to the world and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
We're loading it up right now. Your game's coming to PlayStation as well
Yeah,
as PC
PS4
and Mac,
and Steam and PC, Mac Linux, that kind of thing.
Do you know how far out it is from release
We're
at the
still
moment, or is
like
it just-
sometime this year, but later this year. We're not totally sure when yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much fun has it been to kind of mix both worlds, going PC and console? Has it been finding any other cool tricks and tips that you're kind of working your way
Yeah, I
through
mean,
to
it's been
make
a
that
learning
happen?
experience for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, I really like working on it on Sony stuff is really awesome and a lot of fun. So that's been good.
Very nice.
Are there other games you've worked on?
I did a lot of Flash games and stuff like that for Adult Swim a few years ago.
Cool.
This is my first sort of major console release.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Adult Swim is doing really good stuff in games.
Yeah, they're doing
They're
awesome.
doing a lot of fun
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Last year I loved Duck Game. Duck Game was so good.
Yes.
It's really fun.
Very, very cool.
What can you tell us about the title of your game, SkyTorn?
SkyTorn, yeah. So it's called SkyTorn. It's about because it's about the world and it's about the mystery behind the world, and you're in this post-apocalyptic place with like these floating islands. So the world is kind of ripped apart and floating, and you don't really know why. So you're in this kind of sky-torn place, and that's kind of the idea of where it came
Oh
from.
man,
Nice.
love it already.
Oh yeah.
Can I pre-order?
The art style is cool.
You had me at the pixel art.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's this exploration game, and right now I'm in a dungeon. Actually, I said like just jump us right into a dungeon. So you're kind of exploring these kind of weird dungeons and fighting monsters and stuff. So you have a shovel and you can like dig through terrain and stuff like that. So you can find secrets and things like that. I'll jump out to the overworld in a little bit so you can see that too. But this is just some of the dungeon.
I think at first glance it may remind some people of Super Metroid. Obviously.
Yeah,
Is there any
definitely.
of that in there?
Our artist is super inspired by Metroid and things like Alien as well, like the movies and stuff like that.
You can definitely see that in the background. There's a little bit
Yeah.
touches of that too. It's great stuff. It's awesome.
So you say procedurally generated. Is it a roguelike game?
So yeah, it's not actually a roguelike. It has no permadeath. What kind of happens is it creates the world once for you. So you're going through this adventure with the story, and when you start a new game, it creates this world once for you, and then you kind of explore that. And then if you were to start a new game, it would give you a new world. But for the duration of your playthrough, you're playing through the one generated world.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's not quite as it's not quite like permadeath kind of procedural roguelike. Yeah.
And who's our hero or heroine here?
She's Navoa, and she's this explorer / adventurer, and she's trying to find the mystery behind a lot of these cryptic sort of these compounds that are in these dungeons, lost sort of in the skies, and she's kind of piecing together what happened to the world and maybe how to fix the world and things like that. Yeah, so she's kind of just exploring.
And her weapon of choice is a shovel.
Yeah, so she digs through terrain, and that's a big part of this game, is like destroying terrain and trying to find your way through different things and that kind of stuff. So she uses a shovel to traverse through everything.
And have you heard from Shovel Knight's lawyers?
No, not yet. I think, yeah.
Do they have the market on shovels at this point?
I would have just assumed so.
TM shovel, and then that's it. So I'm sure it's really hard to make a procedurally generated game like this.
It's taken a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm sure as soon as you throw that out to the team, you're like, okay, guys, we're gonna make this game where everything changes as soon as you die.
Yeah.
How crazy has that been so far?
It's definitely been a big endeavor. I didn't really realize how big of one it was actually going to be until we started like really getting into it. But it's been a lot of fun too. Like it's really cool experimenting with this kind of stuff and playing around with how the world can generate and how the levels play out. That's a ton of fun.
Nice. That's awesome.
I think I might not be this guy, so I can jump out to the overworld quickly before.
Good excuse to jump out to the overworld.
Yeah. Before we're over here, so I'll just jump out.
I love the small touches, the kind of glitch in and glitch out
Cool,
stuff.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really nice.
That's really good.
So this is the overworld, and I'm kind of in like this floating island, and this has a lot more of diggable terrain that I can get through. I'm kind of coming in from somewhere kind of deep down underground because I'm coming out of that dungeon, which you'd normally you'd find your way to this dungeon first, and then get here. I'm gonna try to not get hit by all
I
this.
kind of like how the overworld is still trying to kill you.
Yeah. There's very much like a lot of like not
You're not
friendly
safe in the
creatures.
overworld.
You're right.
Yeah, I know.
Right. That's kind of great. I like that.
The digging mechanic is really interesting because you're able to like sort of shape the environment around you, but you could also, I assume, get yourself in a position where you're like, you can't get up to a ledge you want to because you've dug away the
you
world.
can definitely sort of like get yourself stuck in some situations. There's often teleporters and things like that to jump around the world like I'm doing right now. So if you get kind of lost or stuck in a place, you can often find a way around through that if you dig yourself into a literal hole. So this is kind of the general idea. And throughout the game, you get different power-ups as you beat different dungeons and different bosses that change how you fight and how the different enemies interact with you and stuff like that.
Totally. It looks like there's a bunch of varied environments too. That seems like that's going to be something that you're going to see a lot of throughout the game.
Yeah, definitely. So the overworld has a number of different environments, and then the dungeons each kind of have their own theme. So as you explore through the game and work your way through it, you find different environments, different enemies, and different power-ups that you get that affect how all that works. And right now I'm just kind of wandering around aimlessly and turning on these teleporters that I can then use later to jump around quickly.
Nice.
So when people play, everyone will play through the same story and fight the same bosses, but because it's procedurally generated, they'll just be taking a different route.
So their world will always be a little bit different. I can open the map here and you can kind of see, like this is the island I have, and this is what generated for me. So there's certain things that will always be there. The teleporters, there's always a number of them. The regions of the world are always the same, but the layout in which they are created is random. So every player who plays the game will have a different world that they're exploring, a different island. And this is still only a small sort of island. This will expand as we work on the game more, but yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Nice.
We look forward to some big bosses.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Some very big bosses.
Very cool.
We still have a few more minutes if you want to just jump back into the game.
Yeah, I can keep exploring.
Just run around it. It's just a really pretty game to look at.
Yeah, do they have different names? I'm dying to know what some of these enemy names are.
We don't really have like specific names for everything yet, but I'd love to do something like an enemy book you can
like a
find or
game
something.
manual.
Yeah, it would be like that
Has
would be a
the drawing
ton
of all
of
the
fun.
enemies. Yeah.
I would really like that. Yeah, I'll explore to a different smaller dungeon.
Nice.
So you can kind of see the variety of things there.
How long has the game been in development?
I've been working on it on and off for about 2 years, and the whole team actually has now for 2 years or so. But it hasn't been a full-time project until maybe the last year or so.
Ah, okay.
But now we're all kind of coming together and trying to wrap it up.
That's great. That's great.
And so to the viewers at home, if you have any questions or comments about any of the games you see tonight, just tweet them at me at Dame Zero. I'm actually getting a lot of questions asking if this game, SkyTorn, is coming to PS4 and or Vita. So that's,
PS4 for sure, Vita is still up in the air.
Vita's up in the air.
Can't say either way, yeah.
I'm glad it's coming to PlayStation. Just like an old school platformer like this, I think will just feel really, really good.
Yeah, I'm really
Playing on a console
excited
like
for
that.
how it'll feel on that.
Good D-pad goodness.
Yeah. So this is a...
What was that little portal that you just touched?
so that actually fills up your health and stuff. When I attack it fills me there.
That's awesome.
So we've just been seeing the shuttle. Are there other upgrades to the shuttle?
Yeah,
Shuttle
so at the moment, I've just sort of how I jumped into the game. You're not probably going to see anything else right now, but we have various other power-ups. They're always kind of based around the shovel, so your shovel is always your primary weapon, but you'll get different things. So like there's a fire attack that makes your shovel shoot fireballs and things like that. That will change sort of how you do combat and how you interact with everything. But yeah, you always have the shovel. It just the way it functions changes depending on the power-ups you get. So if I go into like here, you can see the different
Are those what the
slots.
kind of orbs are? They kind of give you more ability to kind of power yourself up. I see that counter on the left.
So those orbs are actually just those are currency
okay.
you use just to buy different upgrades and different items and consumables and potions and things like that. I'm not. This guy's a. Oh, we lost the stream. Oh man.
Oh, no.
Well, that's development. Yeah,
Game development.
It's very
Yes,
much still a work
indeed.
in progress.
Yes, indeed.
So
Well,
that
anyway.
happens. But
That SkyTorn, I think it looks really cool.
thanks so much for checking
No,
it
yeah,
out.
it looks
thank
super
you for
awesome.
coming.
Fortunately, this happened.
No,
Super
no,
excited.
everyone understands.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming by the
Yeah,
show.
thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank
We got
you.
a lot more games to show you. Remember, if you have any questions, just tweet them at me at Dame Zero. Getting some questions in. Paul wonders if SkyTorn guys had any idea that Towerfall would be such a hit.
Oh man,
Towerfall is a great game.
Towerfall is so good. It's one of those things you get everybody in the house, you maybe drink a little bit and hang out and play at the same time. It's
Yeah,
good
for
stuff.
sure. I've been playing a lot recently of Broforce. Have you played
Oh
Broforce?
my god, Broforce is so good.
It's so good.
I was dying the other night playing with my boys and just hanging out.
I just couldn't believe how many 80s action characters they have in there.
Because it makes you think about which ones that aren't
It's
there
like,
yet.
yeah, because they go pretty obscure.
They really go obscure. I need a Steven Seagal old running gif for that.
I mean, I haven't even unlocked all the characters yet, so I have to assume Steven Seagal is in
I
there
hope he's
somewhere.
in there just to see how he runs.
Anyway.
The ponytail.
Anyway, it's time for our next game. This next game is called Too Dark. We're joined by Terry.
Yeah.
Are you Terry? Welcome
Hello.
to the show. Thank
Hi.
you.
Nice to meet you.
Tell us about, this is a new horror game, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that fair? That's
Yeah.
accurate? Okay.
Yeah, that could be.
Too Dark. Tell us a little bit about it.
You had this video first, maybe. You will see the sad story of this guy named Mr. Smith. He was in camping a long time ago. And maybe I can talk about the technology we use.
Sure.
So you see all the backgrounds are ties, like old school things, but we use normal maps and dark maps. And so you have the light, it takes the lights also. And for the character, we use 3D characters in voxel, and we have a render in the pixel, like a sprite. So you have a sprite who can talk really smoothly and take the light also. So we did it on purpose because we want to play with the light. And
I see.
It gives a lot of great contrast between the background and the characters, I can tell from that already.
We try to have an old school look anyway, but with a modern, wow.
Absolutely.
Well, the story of this game is so Mr. Smith, as you see, will discover his wife
Oh no.
cut in two, and the story of this game is a meeting with my partner,
Okay.
Frédéric Renard. He makes this game Alone in the Dark 25 years ago. So since 25 years, he want to make another survival horror thing, and that's it.
Yeah.
And at the end, he loses his children. So now, since 17 years, he's looking for his children.
Long time.
And yeah, he a little bit desperate, like other guy. And well, after this, he won't meet many. Well, the goal of the game is to save children from serial killers.
Wow.
It's a level-based game. In every level, you have a different serial killers, and you have a goal: save a certain number of children. And what else? Here you are in his home. In each level, you have to come back to Smith's home and find some clue to unlock the new level and thing like that.
So we're outside Smith's home right now?
So here, Regis tried to enter his room to find the gun in the kitchen. The gun. No, you have the lamp in the kitchen, the gun in the garage.
Ah, okay.
And then you will be able to find the first clue, because this is the first level.
So do you come back to this section of your map and kind of overworld after you've done a mission, or is this
Yeah,
something
in fact, you will go to a secret part of his house. He have a map of the city, Gloomywood City, and you move from in different place from this map, and you unlock every new level from your place. In fact, you have to use, for example, if you look at the television, don't forget, you will find the clue who unlocks the first level.
Oh, nice.
So it's just a television show who explains that there is problem in the Gloomy suburb.
I don't know if I would want to live in a place called Gloomy Ditch.
I mean, maybe they
If I have the option, I'd probably no. I don't.
They probably have good
thank you.
bars.
If you can help me, you know, I'm really appreciate. It's difficult for a French guy, you know, to find this kind of.
You want to sound
names, you
scary.
know?
Yeah. All right, so we're getting clues, and this will lead us to our first level. Is that right?
This is the first level,
Okay.
and it's just an abandoned amusement park where a young girl disappears. So the guy will go to this amusement park and meet a serial killer and his team.
So when you are in the kind of gameplay elements, when you're going through the game as usual, is it mostly kind of moving around the map and clicking on things to kind of determine and look for other things that are in the environment so that you can kind of build the case of how you're trying to find the serial killer?
No. In fact, the map is only used to move from one place to another.
Okay.
You have nothing to do in the map. In fact, yeah.
Oh,
you
that's awesome.
just click on Gloomy Ditch that you unlock, and
Poor
you go
Diane.
to the level.
Diane is missing. We can't find Diane. She was in the corner.
We're gonna find her.
I hope so. I hope so.
Have no fear.
So
Missing
it's a
kid.
beta. Huh? It's an alpha version.
Okay.
So here it's the kind of goal of the mission, the number of kids that you have to save, and well, that's it. Here you have on the corner the inventory. So at the beginning you have always a gun, a lamp, and a Zippo and a packet of gloomy strike.
Yeah.
And to save, you have to use to smoke a cigarette. In fact, I told you this game takes place in '78.
Sure.
Okay.
So
It's a good
at
year.
this time you were allowed to smoke. But the thing is,
much
when you
anywhere.
smoke, somebody can just come and you can have problems smoking in that game. And we have a special trophy if you do a level without smoking. So you don't save, so
Yeah.
you're a non-smoker and
Nice.
you get a special trophy for that.
Nice.
So
Perfect.
we already avoid every.
So we've saved this one girl already.
So this little lady follow. In fact, you have just to touch a child, and he will follow you at the first level.
Ah, okay.
After, it's more and more complicated. You heard about this thing about, first they are children. So
Yeah.
even in the first level, the young are crying, the boy want to play, but after they began to be more and more difficult to save. And at the last level, you have things like, you heard about Stockholm syndrome.
Ah,
They don't want to be saved,
Sure.
Right.
so you have to push them
Yeah,
to save,
that's really interesting.
save
that's a
them.
really
and
interesting kind of game concept of trying to coax them to come with you. Like, yes, you have to come. We're trying to save you.
You have to just catch them and put them somewhere, and after use.
Oh, is that a serial killer?
Well, he's holding a knife,
Uh-oh. I'm just assuming.
so
He could be a vendor. He could be a hot dog vendor in the old abandoned amusement park.
yeah, he's just chopping up his hot dog.
He's a sous chef in the abandoned
Yeah.
amusement park.
So this is a dark game. It lives up to its name.
It's completely dark.
Yeah.
In fact, for now, he have some battery in his lamp, but soon he will have nothing because
you have to
he's
keep-
not on the right way.
No kids over here.
But you have always your Zippo, but your Zippo make a very small
Oh,
light, so
okay.
it's very difficult. And anyway, it's a stealth game, so you have to, you can, yeah, that's it, the
Oh,
electricity
nice.
of the level. And yeah, you can walk more or less slowly, so you can really stay on the shadow, take care of what's happened around you, and just take it really like, it's a more stealth game. I don't know if it's really frightening, but
I'm
that's
pretty.
stealth.
I'm pretty frightened.
I mean, there was a guy in the back with the knife.
You don't have the sound. The sound is good. The music is really
Sound.
important.
Oh yeah,
and
I bet. Yeah. I think the game looks awesome. Looks really, really unique. I can't wait to try it. It's coming out
It's
this
what
year.
we try. I hope so. Yeah.
Cool. Coming
Awesome.
to Windows, PlayStation, and Xbox.
And Xbox and PS4.
Cool.
Very
Everyone will get a
cool.
chance to try it. That's Too Dark. Thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Khalif, what's coming up next? Katana Zero.
Katana Zero.
And this game looks awesome. Have you checked this game out?
I've seen a couple videos of Katana Zero, and I'm super excited for it because I'm super hyped for it.
Yet another game that's right up old Damie's alley.
You love you some pixel art.
Pixel art. Plus, it's like got this like 80s like neon sort of art style. The word katana is in the title. I mean, don't see how it can go
swords, katanas, pixel art. You can't ask for a lot.
Yeah.
You can't ask for any more than that.
So please welcome to the show, Justin.
Hey,
Justin, what's up?
Not much.
Show us Katana Zero. I demand to see Katana Zero.
Well, that's why I'm here. Let's hop right in.
This is a fast-paced neo-noir action platformer focusing on tight instant death acrobatic combat.
Uh-oh.
I could not have said that better myself.
Let's do it.
It's almost like I wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Starting off with a little intro cinematics, some nice Neo Geo blood,
Nice.
time slow mechanics.
Perfect.
Slash that bullet.
Nice.
So starting off here, you kind of see, the heavy rain, a little bit of neo-noir stuff going on already. And here you can see the dialogue system, which is very reminiscent of The Walking Dead. So right now, let's assume that I don't really know how to play. This guy's just going to keep calling me and getting more and more upset until I figure out how to respond to him. So let's say, I'm almost there. Do you need a reminder of your task? Sure. Let's get some expository dialogue in here. Let's infiltrate a little local factory base. Just interrupt him. Let's get out. Start some good gameplay. So you can already see little samurai jumping, nice skyline, little shadows going on.
Already really digging the way you kind of move from light to shadow when you're in your travel mode.
Do you have to watch your balance while you're running on the wire like that?
Come on, you're a samurai.
Well, I thought that little icon was above her head, so I didn't know what that was.
So here you kind of learn one of the main mechanics of the game, which is called Chronos. So the text is going to sort of explain it, but I'll also explain it myself at the same time. So essentially, it's a drug that allows the player to predict the future very accurately, and in doing so, it allows the player to have a very accurate depiction of the future. So when you're playing through a level, you're not actually fighting enemies, you're making a plan. And when you die, you don't actually die, you realize that the plan doesn't work, so you go back and you try something else. Which means that you can concentrate on very specific moments of your plan to slow down time. So it's sort of a framing mechanic for all the special powers that your player has.
Okay. Nice.
So we'll start off with a basic level here.
Title screen.
Yeah. Some basic mechanics, rolling, slashing guys.
That door kick is nuts.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So this game is one of those games where everyone dies in one hit. You, enemies. It's all very brutal and very instant death. So that was me planning out the level. And now that I've actually done it, you can see security cam footage. So I can, fast forward, rewind, and everything. And this is me actually going out and doing everything, including everything in slow-mo, done in real time.
Interesting.
It feels like a reward for the player.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely go through and I kicked butt.
Yeah, it just shows you how cool you are, really. So this guy's just going to explain to me basic dodge roll mechanics, but I can be rude to him. It doesn't really matter. So rolling is extremely important. You're completely invincible while rolling. So you use it a lot to avoid bullets, to get past people who are slashing at you. I'll probably use it a lot on this level.
So good.
So the idea is if you actually get good at the game, then it just looks very impressive.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Nice.
Time the lasers to kill those guys. One of my favorite traps when watching people play this is watching them forget to turn off the lasers and kill themselves as they try to exit the level.
I love that replay mechanic. That is so cool.
Yeah.
So it's the idea that you never actually die. You just keep trying until you figure out the path through the level.
Yeah.
That's a really
Because you're never actually playing through it. You never
Yeah,
die. It's
yeah,
just
so-
you realizing that your plan doesn't work.
Yeah.
So this is sort of, right now what's going on is a little framing device for how you do in the level. Instead of just like, you did A, be and how fast you kill people. It's just your employer is displeased with the results, and that ends up changing how you do. So let's just do a little post-level thing going on here. And we can try a second level.
Nice.
Just the motel hideout. Little nice level select screen there.
So good.
Since everything is is shown in security cam footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. The level select screen is all security tapes.
I love that I still remember VHS tapes.
So here's like a more intensive version of the dialogue tree where you can see that things.
I hate your hair.
Yeah, see, things kind of matter here because if you end up just skipping through the dialogue and insulting the characters, then things end up becoming more difficult for you. So let's try not to insult the receptionist too much. Let's say showers are dangerous. There you go. So I ended up not antagonizing the receptionist that much.
Could have just taken her head off.
Yeah, you can.
And then you could rewind it and then watch it again.
Yes, killing NPCs over and over.
I'm really digging the kind of conversation model that you're using.
Yeah.
What kind of made you want to do that instead of the usual kind of like hit the button, tell the story, let it kind of roll through?
Right, so I figured that a lot of players won't care at all about story. So I'm just going to let them do that. If they don't want to care about story, then they can just skip through it, and it'll end up annoying all the characters in game because they're actually skipping all their dialogue. And will actually make the game more difficult for themselves. So you can skip through the entire story if you want, but it changes how things play out.
Yeah, I love that the blood splatter on the wall.
Yeah.
Good.
It's all persistent blood splatter.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah, these guys are deadly. See if I can get through the whole demo before time's up. Yeah, so right there was the throwing mechanic. I'm going to use a little bit more time slow to make it a little bit easier on myself. Hopefully I can get through this level at least.
No nerves, no nerves.
All right, no pressure.
No pressure.
All right.
But the thing I really like about this is the speed of the combat. The speed of the combat feels and looks really, really good.
Everything is very, very breakneck. Like, you have half a second to figure out what's going on. If you don't react perfectly, then you're dead, or if you do react perfectly, then the enemy is dead. It feels very much like the enemies are as much of a threat as you are. Because if you just let down your guard for a second, then it's over. So in this level, there are gun-wielding enemies, which is going to show one of my favorite mechanics in the game, which is... Let's try that again. One of my favorite mechanics in the game, which is playing baseball with bullets.
Nice. Love it.
Nice.
That's great.
Yes, that should work.
That should work.
Yeah, it does.
I will hit you with this door.
All right, so this level is all gun guys. So it's going to get
Oh, nice.
pretty wild pretty quickly.
Like a meat cleaver.
Uh-huh. Oh, gosh.
The shotgun guy.
Do you have to defeat all the enemies? You can't just run past them?
Yeah. The level objective does change depending on the level, but in the current levels in this demo, it's kill everybody. That's the objective.
I'm not sure if the folks on the stream can hear the music too, but the music sounds
Yeah, that should be
awesome.
clear, yeah.
The music is very Nine Inch Nails sort of social network soundtrack. The musician for this level has actually made it all entirely with analog synthesis, which is really, really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, they can shoot your projectiles out of midair.
So good.
There we go. So I'm gonna see myself do this real quick.
Bask in your glory.
Yeah.
I'm sure when you're doing demos and PR for this, we were like, I have this one perfect run that I did, and it was amazing.
Aw, look at that.
Well, Justin, we do have a bunch of other games we need to show, but I want you to know that Silver305 on Twitter says this game is awesome.
Thank you, Silver305.
Yeah, that's Katana Zero. Looks great.
Yes.
It's going to PC. Any other platforms?
We're hopeful
you should
for
bring it to
every other platform.
Every other platform.
Every
as
other.
well.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Cool. All right, Justin, thank you so much for coming by the show.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much.
Justin.
That looked awesome. Remember, if you, all you viewers at home, if you have any questions, comments about the games you're seeing tonight, just tweet them at me at
Send us
Zero.
things.
Yeah.
Send us things.
I'm really excited about everything that we're seeing.
So many good games.
Yeah.
So many good games.
Arjun on Twitter says, "What's your co-host's podcast called?"
Oh, the Spawn on Me podcast.
Spawn on Me podcast. Yeah.
Yes, the Spawn on Me podcast.
Also, people are asking how many games we've shown so far. That was the third game of the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's only 3.
Wait, no, that's the fourth.
That's
that was the fourth game of the
They're
evening.
going like this.
I know. I
They're
can't
going
even
fast.
keep track of them.
They're going so quick.
Yeah. This next game is called Rive. Are we good to go? We're live.
Yes.
Next
live
game is
with Rive.
We are live with Rive. You should trademark that Let's Play series. That would do really well. You guys are 2 Tribes.
Yes,
You
that's
guys
true.
like Tokitori. You guys have been in the industry a long, long time.
16 years now. Yes.
So it's good. I've been anxious to see this game. This is a twin stick shooter. Is that right?
Yeah. It's a platformer, twin stick shooter.
Okay.
It's like a combination of the two. So
All right, let's jump into this.
yeah, sure.
What do we need to know?
Well, basically, it's well, as you can see here, you're a guy in a little spaceship, and well, basically, you need to shoot things, blow things up, and we are inspired with a lot of games from the 90s, like Metal Slug and Gradius, and we always wanted to make a game like this. So, well, as you can see, there's a lot of explosions and a lot of things, and let me just play a little bit through it, just to give you an impression of what we are trying to make here.
Really pretty, first off the bat.
Yes, absolutely.
Really nice.
I love. It looks like you can shoot basically all around yourself.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Now it's
great.
like that. Yeah, exactly. This is like a demo, which is a tribute to Gradius, those
Yeah,
type
absolutely.
of games. So it's just.
I mean, you have to be a lover of score shooters to make a game like this. What made you want to dig into this kind of genre for this particular game?
Well, like I said, we played a lot of those games when I was little. So we used to make a lot of puzzle games before this, like Tokitori.
Yep.
So we wanted to do something completely different, not focus on puzzles anymore, but focus on explosions, energy, something. As you can see now, there's gravity, so suddenly you can walk around, fall.
It's so fast. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I love
You
it.
ain't seen nothing yet.
No.
There will be more than this. All right, and this is an important part. It's just not shooting and walking around. We have a hacking element as well. This is a very simple hack. You are able to hack this utility, which opens a door. But later on in the game, you'll actually be able to hack enemies as well.
Oh, nice.
And instead of them fighting you, you can actually use them in your advantage, and they become your buddy, and you can use them to progress in the game. There's a backstory in here as well. Let me just continue. All right.
It's deeper than I thought.
I don't hear the sound effects, but I'm sure they are right now. Can you hear them as well?
Well, they may be hearing them at home.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't hear them in the studio right
I hope
now.
that too.
There you go. Now the piping.
There you go.
Ooh, nice.
Seems like I just activated it. I'll record his coordinates. I guess that's it here. Let's move on. Are these crates
Yeah, this is actually the first game that we do with voiceovers, and the guy that's doing the voiceovers actually he's the voice of the creature of Jabba the Hutt. There's this in Star Wars. There's
Really?
this small guy in there,
Yeah.
that annoying guy
Yes.
that would look like
Yeah, he's totally
he
Muppet
does
and-
that, and Gremlins as well. So it's really nice. I'm pretty lucky for him to do that.
Are we upgrading right here?
Yeah, there is an upgrade station in
Very
there,
cool.
so you can, the usual stuff, different weapons. This is a magnet, so you can attract those little things there on the bottom left corner. That's basically it's your coins. So this is
secondary weapon.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So we got like 4 of them. A lot of bats here, and just wanna shoot them.
That's awesome. So whenever you have a game like this, it has something super, super quick,
Yeah.
score-based stuff, you always have to ask the question of who's the best person in the office.
It's probably Colin, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Colin is the designer on this game, and he's
Say
probably
yourself. Come on.
No, I'm not, because then I would be lying. No, I'm not. All right, so this was the first part. Basically, you're in a huge spaceship, and basically you're trying to find your way out of it. So the voice acting just stops after this because, we just wanted to have a test version, and it's only in the first level, and after this this will be later voice acted, of course.
I kind of really dig the way that you're playing with the foreground and background too.
Yeah.
That seems really, really
Dead Eye
cool.
Seal.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
As you can see, there's a lot of explosions here.
Man.
There's another hacking element. We're just around the corner.
Nice.
There's a little frame rate issues here, but hopefully it's just the stream. Because the game should run at a smooth 60 frames per second, obviously.
Yeah, the art is gorgeous.
Thanks.
This is a beautiful game.
Thanks. So this is the nurse drone. You can see it over here. This guy, he's now an enemy, but basically I can hack him. Suddenly he becomes my friend, actually my buddy, and now he heals me. So it's kind of useful to have him around with you, and especially if you got hit by enemies like here, he just heals me. And as you can see, there's a little counter or whatever you want to say, like a status bar next to him, so you can see how much you still be able to help to heal you.
Leaderboards?
Oh yeah, definitely leaderboards.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oof. Ooh.
And different kind of modes. So we actually want to have a single life mode, a brutal mode. This is like the normal mode, the easy mode, I guess. So there will be more for the guys that really need to have a challenge. This
You were not lying about the speed.
No.
Oh man.
Oh.
Ah. Oh,
I'm sorry about that. Let me try to. Oh, I need to hack this guy. So this is actually, as of today, this is part of the Humble Mix preview bundle.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so if people want to play this game, they can do that.
Very cool. So many things happening at once.
Oh yeah.
that is great because it's like we're watching it for demos, but the things that you're seeing, I'm sure there's going to be things that people go back to once they kind of play it some more and kind of remember the little intricacies of the things that are going on in the background and things like that.
Is it a pretty linear game? Or
Yeah.
It's not like a Super Metroid style exploration.
Definitely, no. Perhaps it looks a little bit like that, but before this we made Tokitori 2, which is completely non-linear.
Yeah.
It was Metroidvania. We noticed that a lot of people didn't really understand that. So we're like, okay, we wanted to make this simple, easy. It's just shooting, it's linear, and we just put a lot of effort in getting the fun here. After 2 years of making this game, I actually still enjoy blowing up these things.
Yes.
It just never gets bored. So, all right, so.
I can tell by the intense look on your face right now.
Yeah, I'm just really focused.
Wow.
I'm holding steady. Actually, I want to see you guys play this.
Man,
I'd love to.
Yeah, you should definitely do that.
That's almost done. So as you can see, there's a lot of like smaller rooms or situations where you get stuck and you get a lot of waves and you just have to survive. But it's not all that. We also want to just a little bit exploration and.
It's a nice break though. It's nice to kind of keep it. It's still frantic, but it still is like giving you a space to kind of calm down for a minute.
Yeah.
Even though it's going in this manic pace.
One of our viewers, Paul, says Rive looks like a blast. In true Metal Slug form, is there local co-op?
No, unfortunately not. I wanted to make. I'm one of the programmers, and I still wanted to make that. So perhaps in some update we might just do that. But it's just a lot of work. So no, unfortunately not.
So single player game for now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like the conveyor belt
I
action.
know, that's great.
Yeah, so you need to, be careful a little bit here. I will survive.
Well, if you don't survive, it would be a good stopping point.
Are you wanting me to continue until I die? That's okay. I can try that.
All the things.
Send all the things.
All the things.
Give me the loot. Yes, awesome. The mission 2 is almost done, so I just think it's a nice stopping point.
What purpose does the loot? Is that what you're spending your loot to upgrade your ship?
Yeah, exactly. I get down 1,200 of these things, and
wow.
I return to the previous section, and then I can just buy another weapon or more health and all that stuff. So
Nice.
And fireworks.
And fireworks, of course.
Fireworks.
Actually, I can see that I'm on the top 1 of the world right now, but I don't think there's a lot of people actually playing right now. So that's good.
I'm still impressed.
Nicely done.
It's called Rive. It looks awesome, and I gotta say, it makes me a little sad because you guys announced recently this is your last game.
It is
for the Studio 2 tribes. I don't think you should stop. You should keep going.
Thank you.
Agreed.
We need more of this. This is the good stuff.
Yeah, we just love making video games, but we have different reasons just not to do it anymore. It's just 16 years, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna start a petition at change.org to get
You should
people to
do
sign
that.
in, so you guys
You might just convince us to do otherwise.
don't close down. Thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
so
much.
much.
All right,
It was
thanks
awesome.
for the opportunity.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Wow.
Stick with us, everybody. We still have more games to show you here tonight. So
That
it's,
was awesome.
Yeah, the game looked awesome. It was called Rive, and it's coming this year to every platform: Windows, Mac, PlayStation, Xbox, Wii U.
Change.org. Petition can come in.
Yeah, I'm really sad to hear that these guys are going to be making more
They
games.
make awesome stuff.
The next game we're going to take a look at is called Pamela.
Pamela.
And once we get the developer in here, we're going to ask him what that name stands for because it's an acronym.
Uh-oh.
Something. Do you have any? Make a guess. Pamela.
Please accept my ever-loving acceptance.
How close was he? Did he nail it? I think
You know what? I'm gonna have to.
What's the
defer.
over
I'm gonna have
under?
to defer. I'm gonna have to get our creative director on the phone. She's gonna have to come over here.
The funny part is in trying to remember if you spelled Pamela right while you're doing that. You're like, I think I know how to spell.
Yeah.
I think I know words.
See, and the best part is that's actually the whole game.
That's it.
It's
Just guessing the
it's just
acronym.
it's a word puzzle,
Yeah.
really. That's really it. So I guess we're that's.
No. Show us this game. This is called Pamela, and this looks really, really cool.
Super excited.
Yeah, so we've just woken up from cryosleep here. We don't know what's going on. This city has gone into disarray sometime after we got put into cryosleep here. So I've kind of popped out here. I'm going to check my my vitals here.
Whoa.
So all of our UI is built in like it's built right into the world on your arm, on your character as you'd expect it to be. So I see I'm dehydrated, so I'm going to actually see if I can scavenge some food and drink here. So I've got this device here that I actually use to scan the environment, which will highlight items that I can pick up and interact with here. So I actually found a water bottle here, which is great. That's exactly what I needed.
This UI is crazy. I love this.
Awesome. So now I'm only thirsty. I'm not dehydrated. We're doing good. We're improving. So I'm going to pick up this little shield here. This is a hand-mounted shield. It's a pretty high-level one. We've jacked up the character a little bit to make sure we don't run anything too crazy in this demo here. So I'm not sure if we actually have any sound running, but there should be
It's faint, but yeah, it's in there.
Yeah, there should be some awesome soundtrack. We're actually working with Jeff Van Dyke. He's the composer from the Total War series as well as Alien Isolation. Extremely talented guy, and he's been doing some really phenomenal audio work for us here.
Yeah, he's amazing. He does great work.
Yeah. So I'm just searching around here. This is a medical clinic here after I've exited the cryo room, just trying to grab some supplies here, so I'm not going to be too in trouble as I get too far away. Duck into this room here, and I actually found some building items here, so we collect these as we go here. So we do feature a base building mechanic in the game, sort of StarCraft inspired, which I'll show you guys in a few seconds here. I actually found a weapon here. This is a poison dart kind of attachment. So all the weapons in the game are built that we have this sort of modular arm attachment system. So you have like these hand pieces, you have these larger forearm pieces. So your weapons kind of slot into these different sections, and you can choose what kind of loadout you want to you want to play with, basically.
Go kind of all-out assault, or kind of more stealthy.
Exactly. Yeah, there will be some stealth weapons, some different utility items, depending on what kind of playstyle you want to choose. So I think I might have skipped over this, but Pamela's it's an open world survival game. So it's you're finding food and water, these kind of things, and onto this survival, I would also add a horror game as well, because we're kind of scavenging through this.
Well, that would definitely indicate horror.
That's
body on the left side of the screen. That's great.
So this area we're showcasing here is actually a very large residential tower. So now that I've finally made my way out of this clinic here, we can see we have a lot of verticality going on here. It's a huge space here.
And this is the beginning of the game?
Yes. So the final game will have multiple different spawn points. So as you play, you unlock different spawn areas. It is a permadeath game. So if, if we die at this point, we haven't gotten too far, so I wouldn't be too heartbroken. But we'd be going back to the beginning, basically. So there's some more building items I've found here. So now that here we go. So this is actually a security droid who is going to be neutral to us unless we do anything to make him not neutral to us. So I'm going to leave him alone, because that guy is really strong and would almost certainly kill me if I got into a fight with him.
Poison dart.
I don't know if it's a robot.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't, right? No? I'm always just poison dart. That's what I scream for most things. Poison dart.
That's your answer for everything.
You want breakfast? Poison dart.
So let me see if I can gather some supplies here to build a little base and show off our building. So here's an afflicted. This is they're not zombies. They're kind of aggressive, infected citizens who've been not killed by the disease, but have been driven mad by pain, basically. So I'm gonna stack a few darts on her and take her down. Oh, and I'm getting ganged. Oh boy. Whoa. Oh man, I'm getting attacked. All right, let's go.
I dig the fact that they will totally just gang up on you.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
See, I don't even know where they are. It's totally random. So I have no idea. Let's see, I got an arm blade here. So let's see. All right, oh boy, this is not a good situation here. You know, I've been playtesting this thing, getting ready for the show, and this is the most enemies I've seen in one place. So let's hope I can pull this off here. I'm out of ammo.
They gave you a lot of enemies build.
Yeah, apparently. Let's see here. Luckily, I have some fairly high-level weapons here, and weapons and shields here, so I'm in a pretty good spot if I just kite these guys a little bit.
Oh man. Back up.
Oh man. All right, let's see here. Okay.
I like the pace of the combat too. You know, you can kind of push people away. If they do kind of come back towards you, you can kind of like stave them off, and I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, we sort of we took a bit of inspiration, if I can say, from sort of a Dark Souls-y kind of idea in which you have sort of these kind of three different pillars. You have your attacks, your blocks, your dodge, these kind of things that you can you can use to kind of vary up your combat style, basically. So you always have options basically available to you.
It feels more like and tell me if I'm wrong, it feels like there's a lot more melee combat as opposed to kind of artillery or gun combat.
Yeah, we're focusing on melee combat quite a bit. It's more visceral. We're putting a lot of time into making sure that the kind of the impacts feel right. You get up close and personal, with the enemies. Being a horror game especially, that's important, to us. So yeah, let's show you guys some of the building stuff here. So this is a power transmitter, which we need a ion core to power. So once I got both of those things, I can slot that in there and turn this on, which is going to give me kind of like a StarCraft sort of power grid kind of layout here.
Nice.
Which now I can drop some of these wall pylons here. I only have a few, but I can make a little starter wall here at least to kind of get my base started here. So basically, you kind of point to point, you can draw that out, and then basically that's going to put a wall between those points.
Oh, nice.
And we've got a little light here as well because it is starting to get a little bit dark, so we can plop that down there. And got a little hydroponics garden I can actually place here. So as you're playing, you know, the more time you're kind of exploring in Eden, resources will start to dwindle. You know, you loot all the supplies that you can find in an area, and you start having to think about how are you going to actually regenerate. You know, and how you're going to keep things sustainable for longer and longer. You know, play, right.
Kind of giving yourself a camp right now to kind of like.
Exactly. So I'm kind of low on actual wall pieces here. I kind of this little blind spot back here, which is not too great, but I've got a nice little base set up. So gonna have to set out here, see if I can maybe find some more stuff. So I'm actually probably gonna just power this down because this is a finite resource there. That power cell will actually drain, and I'll eventually be stuck without it. So I'm gonna leave that off while I go and explore here a little bit. Because I know where all the items are. Let's let's go right to them.
So what's
Waiting for the elevator.
the overall objective to figure out who you are and what happened here?
Yeah, so the objective in general, like the kind of minute-to-minute gameplay is basically just surviving, so making sure you have food and water, these kind of things like sleeping to regenerate fatigue, that kind of stuff. I mean, that's sort of like the base, bare minimum, but you're exploring the city, finding different kinds of weapons, equipment, base building, these kind of things. So there is a progression mostly focused on looting, so you're exploring and you're finding better equipment in different areas. That kind of makes sense. So we have like military sort of areas, which you'll find, of course, more higher tier weapons, that kind of stuff. You'll have medical facilities where you can find higher level medical equipment. So I got poison damage over time on this guy right now. So I'm just
I was just looking for hydroponics.
Yeah.
And now you shot me with these poison darts.
It's a cruel world, eh?
Man, who's thirsty?
Cool. I found a few more items here, actually.
Nice.
So
you're scanning the environment for this thing?
Yeah, so this is a tool here you can use to scan the environment, which kind of takes the place of like the kind of hold F to search kind of mechanic that you normally see in games. So you can see when I scan these containers, the lights flash on them. Sometimes they go blank, sometimes they turn blue like this. So this means I can actually search the container. If nothing shows up, then it's empty basically. And it'll also highlight, so I can actually, unless I took all the items already, which I did. A little bit. It'll actually highlight items in the environment as well that you can find. So it's kind of like an exploration tool, as well as sort of where your inventory is kept. So it's basically scanning these objects into like a compressed space module, basically inside of it. So it's sort of it's an exploration tool as well as functioning as your inventory, basically, as you're exploring the world.
Crazy bosses too.
Yeah, there are some tough enemies. So like we saw, those robot guys are pretty strong. They're not necessarily enemies you have to take on. But you can if you want, and you'll be able to get some higher level, more powerful equipment. But there's always that risk that if they kill you, you're pretty much starting back from scratch, basically.
You guys have done a really amazing job with the kind of world that you've built, but also the things you don't think you'd be able to kind of interact with. You totally can. Like even in the elevator, it seemed like a very flat kind of art, but it also was like, I can totally touch it and it totally works. That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, I'll give you, I'm not sure how much time we're on here, but I'll give you a little glimpse at some of the, we actually have a power system and the lights just actually turned off there, which means it's going to get even darker in here now. But we have this power system here, so we have this UI that actually opens up, and this is pretty much all interactable, kind of like you said before, right? So I can request some energy for the sector, so I'm going to take some energy from the city and I'm going to assign it to this zone that I'm in right now.
That's cool.
And I'm actually just going to request all of it because I want to actually turn the lights on properly. And we can actually have this place properly lit up here once that kind of properly pops on there. And I'm going to finally be able to actually build the last bit of our wall here. Actually kind of finish making this base a little bit more secure.
Nice.
And let me power that back up. Awesome, there we go. Feeling a little bit more safe now. Plop down another light there. Cool, so as you can see, the power in this whole area is now gotten a lot brighter here. We're in kind of better shape, but that power will, as with the cell, it will actually degenerate over time. So you've got to be careful of how often you're using the power in an area, basically, to balance the visibility and resource management aspect of it.
Very cool.
One of our viewers, Jack Patrick Walsh, asked if this was made using the Unity game engine.
This was. It was made with Unity 5. We started development about a year and a little bit ago, right when Unity 5 came out, actually. So yeah, we've been using it ever since.
Very cool. Probably still have a couple minutes left. What can we see in that amount of time?
Yeah, sure. So let's take a look here at check a couple other areas. Here we have this this archives area, which was once was a library and now has been sort of converted into a morgue here. So we can check out some rather kind of morbid scenes here. Yeah. So the citizens actually of this city have been afflicted by this disease that's caused like disfiguring bone growth, basically. So you can see this guy's got these growths and he's basically frozen into a statue. So some of the citizens have been basically frozen in place by this disease as it sort of causes their bones to grow out of control and contort them. And then other citizens have been sort of driven mad with pain, basically. So they're not zombies, but they're sort of like, enraged. Their mind has been kind of warped by all the distress that they've basically been going through, being afflicted by this disease.
One last poison dart, shoot in the butt.
That's their weak spot.
If you've ever been in a lot of pain and getting shot in the butt with a poison dart, doesn't help.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's how we do it.
That's the way
kill.
you finish it out. Nice.
End with a bang, yeah.
I noticed you never did tell us what Pamela stands for. Is it, is it a secret?
It's 50% secret, 50% you have to ask our creative director, 'cause she's the one who knows.
Go find her on the show floor.
I'm sure you can get in touch with her.
Well, thank you so much for bringing Pamela by. It looks awesome.
Absolutely, yeah.
great.
Great to be here, guys.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Next up, we have a game called Tooth and Tail.
Tooth and Tail. Nice.
From the Monaco guys, and I think they've, this is their take on the real-time strategy genre. But what I love about like the indie game space that we're seeing here tonight, there's we're seeing like old school pixel art games, we're seeing like 90s twin stick shooters, and then we see something like Pamela that's like a 3D open world BioShock.
It is totally the beauty
game.
of what this whole space is doing right now. So many different kinds of things people are pulling from, so it's awesome. It's really
Super excited. We're joined now by Andy.
Hi there.
He's going to show us Tooth and Tail.
Nice. Yeah.
Another game I'm very excited to
yeah, I'm excited to show
take a
it
look
to
at.
you.
You guys made Monaco.
We did make Monaco, yeah, and with this we're basically like trying to make the Mario Kart a real-time strategy.
That sounds awesome.
nice.
Yeah, because it's like everyone's intimidated to play real-time strategy. Why?
Yeah, I am.
Exactly.
Yes.
You don't want to get online and get beat by someone who can click 8,000 times per second.
Yes.
Right?
All right, so should we jump into it?
Let's jump into it, yeah. You know what we're going to do? We're actually going to play, one of the cool things about Tooth and Tail is you can play it split screen.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's like rather than being global hero, you can be king of the dorm room. So the game world, by the way, is all about the animals. The animals are all eating meat, and so it's a revolution over who's going to have to be the meat.
Ah, nice.
The winner gets to eat dinner. The loser has to be dinner.
Okay.
So you are selecting before each match. You can select units up to 6 unit types to fill your army. So if you're the type of player that hates to play StarCraft because you just want a turtle and it doesn't work,
right.
you can customize your army to be a turtling army, right? So we'll come in here to the versus and go to split screen, 1v1. Hit start to join in here, and then hit A to ready up. So this is where you'd customize your army. We'll go ahead and probably stick with. Why don't you stick with the preset units?
Okay.
And I will mix it up just a little bit here. Oops. This is also one of the cool things about it is that each game is much, much shorter and less exhausting than playing a lot of other real-time strategy games, partially because you can play on a controller and partially because the game sessions are super fast. It's like the Hearthstone of StarCraft.
Speaking my language.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds good to me.
So go up and select 2 battle, and we'll get started. So the first thing you'll do is build a farm. So just stand on a plot, hit A, and that'll build a farm. Yep. And then follow the cobblestone road. This game is in development, by the way, so if you see anything odd, is in development.
That was you.
Yeah, exactly. That was me. So you play as a player character. You play as the flag bearer for your army. You don't attack, but you direct your army, and you direct them using a trigger. You can once you've done a scouting run, you can hold X to burrow home, and that's like your war palm button.
Interesting.
So build some more farms now that you're back home, and that's your economy. Each of those pigs is going to produce 1 food per second, and that food is how you're going to build an army. So yeah, fill up all those farms. I'm going to screen sheet at you just so I can tell you what to do.
Sure. I need some help, I'm sure.
Yeah. So see up on the top of the screen, it says your food there. Next time that's up at 60. Come out to any of this empty space out here down in front of your farm, farms like there, and move up a little bit and press A once you have 60. Anywhere in there.
Here?
That's just you'll need a 2x2 space to build.
So I can do it over here.
Yeah, move. Yeah, that's good. Hit A there. So that's going to start making lizards. All the animals in the game. Sort of one of the reasons we really like having animals in the game. It's like a World War I era Redwall, or like take Secret of Nim and make it brutal, right?
Secret of Nim's already kind of brutal.
Yeah, right?
It is, right?
Nicodemus in there.
So those warrens will produce units on their own. You don't have to click around to your base to create units. And when your units die, they'll automatically recreate themselves. So you can pull the right trigger, and that'll tell your army to move to your current position. And then when you release it, your units will attack. So you can like click, and it'll do an attack move. So we've got this little. I brought in my toads, which are like banelings, if you know your StarCraft. I'm pulling my squirrels back here. These are our tier 1 units. You can use your right analog stick to select between your different units that you chose, and in order to build different types of units. So, like I'm gonna build the skunk gas grenade guy.
Nice.
He bottles his own farts and launches them as mustard gas.
Amazing.
And
I'm building a squirrel.
be careful.
You both sound like you're about to become the Beast Master. This is awesome. I love this.
So you also have a turret there. The farthest one on the right is your turret. So that's how you can set up defenses to defend your base. And then the last little piece of it is that you can use the left analog stick to control just a single type of unit. So, for instance, I can take my suicide toads and bring them in to try and take out your base. But you set up a turret, so I'm gonna pull that back out. You can build new windmills, which I see you did, and get more pigs at that to grow your economy. And we've been running a private small pre-alpha for a year now, and we have players with 1,000 hours in the game.
Wow.
It's super addictive. And like really, really deep, despite the fact that it's we took the whole thing and boiled it down and made it small.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to ask the question.
Go for it.
I'm a newbie. I'm an RTS newbie. What are you doing for folks like me?
Okay, so a big part of
game.
it.
Well, I mean the whole game, but I mean like.
Well, you're launching some like artillery. at me.
Yeah.
I got that ferret up on that hill. He ain't messing around.
But I'm always worried that I'm gonna get into a game and the tutorial system is not gonna help me out as much and stuff like that. Are you hand holding us folks as well a little bit?
Yeah. So we do have a campaign, and it's cool to have a campaign where you have like a player character. So if you just don't want to play competitively, that's totally fine. But we simplified the controls down, so it's literally just one button.
Yep.
It's with Monaco, you controlled everything pretty much just by moving your left analog stick, and then you had one button that was like your smoke bomb, and we called it your oh crap button. You know what I mean? And it's the same sort of thing now that you have an oh crap button.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to know how to do.
And I love the fact that you have the controls on the screen and things like that. That's super helpful for folks like me who will often forget what to do when it comes
oh boy, he's got a board.
Oh man.
And then beyond that, it's like if you're playing a big, long, real-time strategy game, you don't want to play 30 minutes and then lose.
Right.
But these matches are like 6 minutes long, so you can do crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
stuff.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Learn by doing and messing up and keeping going.
Exactly. Beyond that, we've got you might even want to be aggressive over there, Red, because you're kicking my butt right now.
Yeah, I am.
there's a replay system and a spectate in progress games.
Oh, nice.
Feature too. So like, if you're super intimidated, you can go online. You can lose a match, and then you can watch exactly what it was your opponent was doing.
Cool.
So it's like a fully featured real-time strategy game, except super boiled down.
Yeah.
The join in progress thing is super cool too, because you can watch like high-level play while it's in progress, while it's actually playing.
That will be what. That's exactly what I will be doing. So I can definitely
Exactly.
learn some strats.
There's also 2v2, and also given the fact that it is split screen, it means that you can just play against your buddies. You don't have to play online. You know.
I'm gonna play online and kick somebody's butt at some point.
Yeah. Well, this boar is coming in to kick my butt.
Yeah, I want some great squirrels.
Exactly. So
Get in there and do some work.
get out of here. The game is in development and it was intended to come out later this year, but we still have a lot to implement. And I got to see if I can find a backdoor. I have not been paying attention.
Back your boar off a little bit. Damon's like, I'm taking it over.
Kill him. Get in there.
Our forces are under attack.
So your farms can be like completely depleted, it looks like.
Yeah, they can. And I'm currently starving, which means that once
I
you run
probably
out of
am.
all your farms.
So is like that how you keep the games short?
Yeah, if you have no farms left, you have 1 minute to build a farm. Otherwise, you lose. But the goal is to destroy the other person's windmill. So if you destroy my last windmill, I'm out. I'm done for.
Nice.
Yeah, that's basically like the starving mechanic is how we keep forward momentum going on the game. And I'll see if I can get my ferrets in there to take these guys out. Maybe take out your windmill. I don't know if you have more than one. So you've got this falcon up here, and my ferrets can't hit that falcon. I think we're at a bit of a stalemate here, sir. Oh shoot, I forgot, I'm still starving. I'm gonna have to go back and sell some stuff.
Oh man. But I do see the pace. The pace is really, really quick. When you're trying to kind of get in, get out, advance, kind of get a little bit of tactics in there, kind of move across the map.
Right. So it's like we really went with the mantra of make micro fun.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, at the end of the day, I don't want to sit down and play a stressful game. I don't want to sit at my desk. You know, but I love real-time strategy. I absolutely love it.
I am starving.
Yep, build farms and you're good to go. Although now the tides have turned.
Yes,
Oh
my
man, yeah,
build
that switched
queue is
really
full.
fast. Just like you were advancing and
His
doing-
economy stalled out, and he's in
Oh
trouble.
man.
Oh wow.
Media in the exchange.
Good
Media
job.
exchange.
Good job.
So
Media
yeah,
exchange.
you can actually watch this replay here. So you know,
that's awesome.
see what we did and look at the graphs and you know,
That's so cool.
see where things went right and where they went wrong. There's a whole campaign here. We've only just got the start of this to show, but we won't show the whole thing now. But you know, you got that whole village to explore, and you get to sort of explore the backstory of the world.
This might be my first RTS.
Dude, that's what we're hoping for.
You've never
That's
played
awesome.
an RTS?
No,
Like
because
nothing?
I'm so scared that I'm going to mess it up and be terrible.
Yeah, you don't have to worry
So
about
that's
it.
awesome.
Will you play like a turn-based strategy game? You play like a tactics, Fire Emblem?
Yeah,
those
yeah,
games?
yeah.
Okay, nice. Can't hang with the real time.
No, I'm scared.
Well, I
man.
love the look of it.
great.
I really like the feel of the simplified combat. I
Alright.
think that works very well. StarCraft is played competitively.
Yes.
Do you think there's any room for like this to be played competitively?
Sure, and my philosophy on this is that you have to make a game that people want to play first,
Yeah.
and then it becomes an esport. And so, you know, if we were to be, I don't focus at all on the idea of whether or not we could be an esport. All I'm focused on is making a really, really fun game.
Sure.
Super Smash Brothers was never meant to be an esport.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a
that's true.
game you play in your dorm room,
Right.
Yeah.
right? But people loved it, and they played it so much that they started competing. And that's the kind of thing, that's what I want to make. You know, I
Yeah.
want to make a game where people really want to be the king of their dorm room.
Sure.
That's cool.
Alex, what do you think? We have time for one more game? Can we jump in another one? Here, Khalid, you
Oh,
play
man.
what are you
Oh,
doing?
man. Pressure
See
now.
if you
It's
can
gonna
do it.
be
This is
pressure.
you're now live playing your first RTS
Oh, man.
in front of 1 billion people.
Chicago, help me.
Yeah, you
I
can
know
play.
I'm gonna get a lot of.
The other thing you can do is play 2v2.
That's true.
Yeah.
Totally true.
So hit start.
Let's start on that.
Yep. And then ready up whenever
Yep.
you want. You can switch up your units or keep it the same.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it simple.
All right. I'm gonna keep it the same then too.
All right, Twitter, be
Oh.
kind. Twitter and Twitch, be kind.
Oh yeah, they're kind.
Yeah, they're good.
Paul asks if he says
Build
Tooth and
it.
Tail looks great.
Okay, build that.
He wonders if you can play cooperatively.
You can. Well, okay. So currently there's a 2v2 mode, and it's one of the cool things about it is you can play mixed split screen and online. So you can play with your friend on a 2-person team against other people online. As far as a cooperative, cooperative PVE mode, we don't have that yet, but we do plan with Monaco. We added tons of free content after launch, and I'm really hoping that we can do that here too.
Awesome.
So
you build your farms.
Come on, pigs.
That's key.
it's good. It's good. Don't forget to scout too. Go and figure out where I am so that you know where to attack and where you're going to get attacked from.
The red outline signifies what?
I'm taking damage. So I just actually died.
No, I just mean on the ground.
Oh, there's a territory thing. So in order to don't press A there, move off of the windmill to build your units.
Okay.
Or get your last farms. Yeah, you can only build structures, or most of the structures. There are a few special structures you can build outside your territory, but that prevents the instant contain strategies. So you can't just go and build a turret right outside their base and win.
I see.
But what you can do is you can go and build a windmill that is close to their base. Oh, by the way, all these maps are procedurally generated.
Oh, awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, so we really put a lot of focus on making the game about improvisation and creativity, and we want to reward the players that use creative strategies more than people that practice a particular build order or anything like that. You know, like we don't have tech trees in our game. You don't have to memorize that I have to build a spire first.
Nice. So now I know where you're coming from. Coming from that away.
And I'm coming soon too.
I know.
You're in trouble.
I see you.
Oh, look at that! You build your lizards out there in the open, huh? All right.
I know there's someone at home who's like, why did you just do that? What do you noob? Why? It's okay. That'll be one of the episodes. How Khalif messed up. So sorry to you.
So I'm gonna build this grist mill over here with one of the this burrow home mechanic allows you to actually warp from grist mill to grist mill, which is a good way to build like sneaky bases. You can build a base right in your opponent's backyard, and if they never scout it,
that's cool.
You're like warping into the back of their base.
That's awesome.
You should try to build a warthog if you can. The warthog does some damage.
Do I hold down the button to build the thing?
It's the right stick. You just
that's how you build your units. Okay.
It's the second for them right there.
And then pull your right trigger to tell your army to move. So there you go. That's how you, and then release it to let them attack.
Eat them.
Yeah.
Eat them. Eat the people.
Except I had my toad. I had a toad in there. To just
eat the other animal, anthropomorphic animals. Eat them. This is great. No, don't kill my boar.
That's how your boar's still building, but I think you're in trouble.
He's gone.
There, buddy.
Oh, he's there.
Yep, it's building.
Get the business.
Yep, there it is.
Eat his face.
The boar takes a long time to build.
Make him bacon.
Make him pay.
Make him bacon. Awesome. This is very, very cool.
Cool.
I think you sold me. I think
you
got me.
See?
Now that I know.
You've never played a real-time strategy game before. You're playing a real-time strategy game right now. And what I'm hoping is that someone who also loves StarCraft is gonna see this and be like, yeah, this is StarCraft, but it's like I can just pick it up and play a quick game with my friend. We have some people that are just like, they had finals and they're like, let's just play a game, right? And then let's take a break, play a game. And this was just last week, and so they jump in our little community, and they're like, they have a little voice. We have a little voice chat community, and they jump in there, and they're playing while they're like supposedly studying for finals.
That was.
It
was like it was pretty. It was working. It was working.
The system works.
But I love this though, because this is like you can see where I'm messing up. I'm learning that I messed that up, but that's good.
And then you can go watch the replay too. So hold the trigger to get him to come attack that ferret. Hold it. Go over to the mortar guy. Oh boy.
Fine, mortar.
Trouble.
It's
trouble in paradise.
Oh my god.
It's trouble in paradise.
So you never have the option to like attack or do anything yourself.
You don't. Of course, you are in danger, but at the same time, you're not the attacking unit.
Nice. Pig, do a thing.
We wanted to really focus it on the crowds and the army rather than something where you're going around, button mashing on your sword button.
Yeah.
Well, at least Media Indie Exchange won again.
Well, you have an excuse because that was the first RTS you've ever played. I've actually played an RTS before.
I'm okay with that loss. I'm alright with that loss. I can see where I'm making my mistakes, and my pigs, they just hung out and they were doing their thing, making
they're very peaceful pigs.
Yeah, it's okay.
I can't believe I came along and just killed your pigs. That's not nice.
They deserved it.
Bad.
They deserved it.
Tooth and Tail is currently planned for Windows, Mac, Linux.
Yep.
Monaco came to consoles, so
it did. I would love for this to come to
eventually.
consoles, and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll look for it.
It would be at home.
Yeah,
cool.
I know you're still working on it, but it would be either late this year, next year.
Later this year.
All right, thank you so much for bringing the game by.
Thanks
Super
a lot.
awesome. That was a
Appreciate
lot
it.
of fun.
And Cleve, I think we have to say goodbye to you as well.
Yes.
Oh, you're staying.
Oh, stay for the next one?
You're staying.
Yes.
He lives on. 5 seasons in a movie.
No turret on
6 seasons, whatever.
6 seasons.
All right, yeah, we do have a few more games to show. They'll come by and take you out there.
Cool.
Few more. We have 4 more games to show. We're gonna
Oh
see.
my gosh, it's going so quick.
Yeah, we're gonna see a casual puzzle and competitive multiplayer game called Tumblestone up next.
Yes, Tumblestone.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can tweet your questions at me at Dame Zero if you have any questions, comments about the show. Silver 305.
Silver 305
Yeah,
is getting
he's
all
blown
that
up on
stuff.
Twitter. Says great games, great variety, but hands down, Katana Zero was the best game of the show so far. Can't wait for the game to be released. Katana Zero looks really, really good.
Katana Zero is really good.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff tonight.
So I can't believe you've never played
I'm super intimidated by that genre.
You never played Command & Conquer?
Well, some of that stuff is all PC stuff. I've never really had a real gaming PC
What about
to
Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth?
I've played a demo of it.
Okay.
And it was okay. It was
Well,
alright.
that was it.
Yeah,
That was a good game.
But it's one of those things where if I didn't have a gaming PC, it plays a lot of that stuff. But it was also super intimidating. I was always worried that I was going to be bad at it.
Yeah, no, you just need to
believe
in yourself.
I need the community to help me with it. I need tweet me strats.
Yeah, we do. We're playing a bunch of indie games here at the GDC Indie Mixer here in the IGN office, showing you 11 total games tonight. So far, we've seen like.
Pamela was crazy.
Pamela is a 3D open world survival horror permadeath game. We've seen pixelated 2D hack and slash games like Katana Zero, and then we see sort of arcadey real-time strategy games like Tooth and Tail. That's what that game was.
That was pretty cool.
Alex, how are we looking?
Fun.
Can we fire up Tumblestone?
Fire it up.
Fire it up.
Yes.
He says, welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Yeah,
We're joined by Ty over here.
Hello.
Garnett Lee, welcome to the show.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
How crazy is it to be on the IGN stage? For me.
Yeah. Sort of circle of life.
Circle of life. Although technically it's the Ziff Davis building now, right?
Well, yeah, this is totally
it's a Ziff Davis joint. It's the circle is complete.
Nothing goes away forever.
It is all
I've come back.
We're going to take a look at some Tumblestone.
Yeah.
Are we all 4 playing?
Yes, all of us. Yeah. So
Oh, nice.
controllers here.
Let's just jump right in here.
All right. So the way this works is it's a competitive but casual. I hate using the word casual, but I'll get back to that later. The way this works is you try to clear the board before anybody else. So just press the A button to shoot the block, and you want to do it by matching sets of 3. Purple, 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 green, green, green. What this turns into is a race. We are racing each other to solve the puzzle first. And whoever does it first wins the round. It's as simple as that at its surface.
Oh yeah, he's fast.
Oh, I should. Okay. I'm gonna hold the controller. I'm gonna go upside down type for the rest of the time.
Now he's gonna dog us like that. I see how.
I do that.
Man.
Anyway, so it's a puzzle. So it's not just about finding the set of 3 on the bottom. It's about planning ahead and making sure that you always have a set of 3. Because if you get yourself stuck, if you don't have a set of 3, then you have to go all the way back to the beginning.
Oh man.
I have to go back to the beginning.
Yes. If you can't make 3, press the B button as it's telling you, and you go all the way back.
Wow, okay.
So it's punishing. It is making sure that you have to look ahead. You have to plan your moves. while everyone else who has the same puzzle as you is doing the same. So it's kind of this delicate balance of speed.
This one again with your upside down controller?
You're not even looking.
You know, I did, but then I pressed B just to toy with you because I'm sure I can do it twice by the time any of you do it once because I play this every single day.
Man.
Damon, you don't know the half of it.
No.
You should hear him give a talk on the logic of how it creates the box puzzles on the fly to make them just hard enough to be fun.
I've just lapped you.
You just
It's hardly fair.
Oh, man.
Two people who've never played before, I'll just put the controller in my lap.
Yeah.
So these are all randomly generated, as Gurgoth alluded to. Every single round you play, every single puzzle is going to be completely unique, but of course, in a way that is solvable. Everybody has the same puzzle, it's gotta be solvable, or else that'd be ridiculous.
It seems like we got serious all of a sudden.
Everybody got really
Everyone's
quiet.
like,
Game face on.
Everybody
Game
got
face.
really quiet.
There you go.
Oh, you stop playing. Ty, stop playing. I'm sitting here like,
I gotta
be all right when
give
you're
you
right.
a
And Ty's like,
chance.
he's like, oh, hold on. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So Tumblestone is actually a lot more than just this local multiplayer. It's got online, of course, too. You can play against bots, but more so, it's got a very, very deep story mode. There's a huge campaign to it as well, which is structured similarly, but instead of a time component, like there's an inherent time component here in that you're racing against everybody else who's playing, it's just much more difficult puzzle. So if you're a puzzle fan, if you're a fan of, call it Toil or Tetris Attack or Tetris or... Nice.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Success.
You're going to love either the local multiplayer or the single player. Whether or not you have a group of friends to entertain or you're just trying to kick back and be very casual and just relax. Like with the single player, there is a ton of content. The single player's got something like 40 hours now. Wow. It's not just this, it's a bunch of different modifiers, and after someone wins, I can show you a modifier or two.
Yeah, that's where it gets serious. So where it gets see, this is just like the explanation of the basic fundamental of how the game works.
This is a tutorial. Yeah, I almost want to just win now just so I can show off the modifier.
Yeah, you should. No, you should, because that's where it actually gets going.
So that's how we build out the 40-hour campaign, is throughout all of these modifiers that we have in the game. I'm gonna show maybe row shift. I gotta show row shift.
Well, that move we were playing where it just sits there and rolls around through the
row shift.
Is that
It's everybody's favorite. Okay, it's gotta be row shift. Okay. We're on air. I'm just gonna do row shift. So everybody go ahead and tap A.
I love the little dance before it starts, too.
So this is row shift. This comes in around world 8 or so. There are 12 worlds. World 8 is pretty deep in. And you'll notice something's a little different.
Oh, man. No.
Every single shot, you've got this row that shifts, and hence the very clever name, row shift.
It is very clever.
There's also double shots, repeated color lock. Yeah.
Good names.
Good, very descriptive names that I have in this game. But it's like, instead of thinking, in terms of just which 3 am I going to make, you have to think, if I shoot this one, then it shifts, then I can shoot my second block in that row shifting row, and then this is how we build out all the content. It always stays spicy, and moreover, any of the modifiers in the game, we can combine it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there's row shift, there's double shot, which is every time you press A, it shoots twice. Right? But you can mix that with row shift.
Oh, you're breaking my
I'm breaking
brain.
everybody's brain. And that's how we keep 40 hours of the single player content interesting. It's not just like, okay, I've played this before. Like every 5 minutes, you're gonna have a substantially different mental experience than you just had 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out multiple ways to make this work in my brain, and I'm like, I can't think. Yeah. Oh, it just shifted. Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna shift every single shot.
I know, I just killed me.
If you want to get really crazy, you can set the game up to where after each one of these matches, it randomly picks another modifier, and it just rotates through. It just rotates through, right? Everything's completely random every time.
That's awesome.
There's one where, like, when you shoot a block, the blocks flip to the top. There's another one where when you shoot a block, the next one, it shoots the block one block behind the one on top. So you have to, like, think.
Second shot pass through.
Yeah.
But these, obviously, as they're unlocked in the single player, you can bring them on over, like I'm doing right now, to the multiplayer. So it's kind of an incentive to play the single player. And also there are other single player game modes in addition to the story. There's arcade modes. All of the arcade modes are linked to a global leaderboard, so you can compare your score against your friends' scores, against the worldwide scores. But one of my favorite arcade modes is Infinite Puzzle, which just gives you puzzle after puzzle after puzzle, and once you make a mistake, that's game over. So it's all score based, so as many blocks as you can shoot. But you can mix any of these modifiers with that mode too.
Yes! Wow, look at that.
Thinking cap is on.
Time to go as fast as I can. No! They know how to play.
It's like
Yeah, Ty's like, well, okay, you got it now. It's game on.
Now it's time.
Game on.
Now it's time.
Cocky.
It happens to the best of us, bud.
Brain. I think now seeing you go really fast is making me want to go really fast.
Yeah, there be danger right there.
But it's great.
Oh, I don't think I have an answer here.
So Tumblestone is coming out this summer. Like I said, it's going to have local and online, and bots, and the story, and the arcade modes. So much content, it's ridiculous. But it's coming out to Steam and to consoles.
Nice.
It's coming basically everything at the same exact time with regards to consoles.
Very cool.
We're playing a mobile version, but it's going to come a little later.
Okay.
Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. I haven't even talked about that.
A little later.
How are you gonna do the mobile control?
It's just like one screen.
Yeah.
And just tap a column. So I'm tapping the middle column. Tap.
Oh, that's
I go over
smart.
here.
Yeah. I see how that'll work.
It totally works right now. We're just gonna. Mobile's a weird market, so obviously.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Funny enough.
Yeah, we could do mobile, but like.
That.
How many moves ahead do you find you look? At least 2 moves now.
Yeah, at least 2. This is a very chess-like game where like you play. You don't want to just do the first thing that jumps out at you because that's probably
It will not work.
It will not work, or it might, but probably won't. What you really want to do is like before you make that shot, think about what your next shot's going to be like. Don't just think about the triplet you're currently making. Think about the triplet you're going to make. And do all this while talking. Yeah, do all this not while talking, while playing, but while racing everybody else because they have the same puzzle. And
No, do it while having a coherent conversation as well. Make a lot of sense too. Maybe you could also do some algebra calculations on the side. Multitask.
I literally can't talk and play this at the same time yet.
It's very challenging to do that.
But that's awesome. I'm sure this is inside the office. Lots of yelling and screaming at each other.
That's actually how it started. So this started as a game jam between me and 2 friends who were programmers, and within 24 hours of just developing the concept, Alex, Justin, and I were just screaming at each other at the top of our lungs. In the middle of the night, it was like 1 a.m. We woke up his wife. We're like, we have something here. We're like, all right, I'm gonna do what Garnet said, and I'm just gonna turn them all on. Row shift is great, but let's do
everything.
Let's
fire all guns at once.
There are everyone press A. There are other game modes, like there are modes where you send blocks at your opponents, but I like Puzzle Race. Oh, of course, 1 in 12 chance because it's row shift again. There are other modes where it's kind of like you send entire puzzles at other people to solve in real time. But this is kind of like the bite-sized, pure version. You don't directly fight other people, you are racing against each other in the same one. This one's great. Every time you start a triplet, it's going to sprout in another block. So if you notice that as you move around, you have these little sprout guys.
Whoa.
Yeah, right? And so as you shoot that first triplet, it spawns another one of that color in that column. No, it's totally okay. It's cool. It's cool. It's more blocks to shoot, right? It's a good thing.
It's more blocks to shoot. It's
perpetuating
your enjoyment.
Exactly. It's more gameplay.
It is
it's like
the feedback.
a third as many blocks.
What's that you say? You want more blocks? We've
got
them. More blocks. Give me more blocks.
Oh, I watched it. Watched it.
So we've just spent so much time adding like just variety for the sake of like spicing up the game. Like it's not just the same match 3 casual game over and over again.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
That's one of the perceptions. Like people come to GDC or PAX or PSX or wherever we show it, and they're like, oh, I don't play matching games. I don't really play casual games like this. Like, this is not that.
I remember playing this at RetroCon over in Portland.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is really super pretty. Love the art style. that you guys are kind of going with, but also it's super quick, and I'm trying to like do those extra steps.
And you pick it up immediately. Like this is like the ideal party game where like you get a group of friends. Like maybe they're not gamers, maybe they're just your buddies from work or school or whatever, and they pick this up like immediately. This is a game for everybody, but if you are super into like the hardcore like competitive like
you can tell from the pattern of his clicks. As soon as he's got it, you can tell like the clicks go click 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 click.
The
click,
part
click.
that I really loved was when he finished, turned, and smiled, and then was like, and
I've already memorized the solution at this point, so I'm just going to go ahead and have a conversation with you while typing in the controls.
That is kind of
pretty boss.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
All right, we got time for at least one more round here.
Oh man. But I like how I know that I messed up early, and I'm like, okay, I messed up.
And you can press B at any time, but there's no undo. The game is it is punishing in the sense that everyone has the same rule set, so it's fair. But at the same time, like if you make a mistake, you have to go all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Like I just did.
You're gonna get me in so many fights at home when I play this with other people.
That's the goal, kind of. I wanna
breaking up happy homes.
I wanna break up happy homes, ruin friendships.
Tumblestone, breaking up happy.
It's good to aspire to something.
Yeah. bring hundreds of hours of enjoyment into someone's living room.
This is evil. Oh, that's what it is. I've got to. Oh, you got to count. You got to count to make sure that you're spawning a number divisible by 3 of your answers at the top.
It's sort of. It's always the first one of the 3. So that math that you just mentioned will actually automatically happen. You don't have to track it. Just kind of by the laws of math or whatever, it's going to happen by itself.
The laws of math or
the
whatever.
The laws of math or whatever, as Isaac Newton always said, is going to like.
That just hurt.
I like that the game knows I failed before I even realize I failed. And it's like, why don't you just go ahead and restart?
Yeah, we're a little nice like that. It's like, it's not possible anymore. You might want to go ahead and press B. Just so you know, so you're not like.
Just a heads up here.
Yeah.
Newsflash. Yeah, you're not making it.
How easy are you going on this right now?
No, he's going pretty easy.
So, that's a good thing to bring up because there is this system I've built called rubber banding, where as you are in the lead, as it is currently 2-0 to 0-0, I automatically get extra blocks. Everyone has the same puzzle, but in addition to that, I've got extra blocks added to my board.
Okay.
That's a setting you can turn off and on. So if you're playing in more of a tournament style setting, you can turn it off if you so choose.
I made it so far.
I know. I've been to the bottom like twice. And he's like, yep. As soon as you hear that clicking noise, you're like set, man.
Yeah, but the rubber banding is something you can turn on just so like if everyone potentially gets a chance to win.
Wow. That's Tumblestone.
Suppose I'm not playing.
That was super fun.
That was really fun.
What, you said this summer?
Yeah, it's coming out June or July this summer to Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, Wii U.
Awesome. That's really
Also Fire TV.
Yeah.
This little Fire TV thing that Amazon makes.
Yeah.
You can see why we're excited about it.
Yeah, super
absolutely.
fun, super addicting. I can't wait to dig in and actually practice the skills I've.
Dude, I don't know the practice. It's just sort of like flow state. You got to just zen out.
There
on
is
it.
no spoon.
Once you get there.
All right, thank you so much. We're switching some people out here.
Cool.
You two gentlemen are leaving.
Yep.
Garnet's gonna hop over here.
Come on, hang
Over
on.
to
I don't
the
know.
team.
Apparently you are.
We'll
Yeah, you're going over
All right,
there.
good
wherever.
fellas.
Yeah.
You can stay if you want.
Yeah.
You should stay.
We should
Look at
stay.
the
All right,
crew
Stay.
here.
We'll all hang out.
We have 3 more games that we're gonna show here.
Bye, Ty.
Bye. Thanks.
Good stuff, Ty. That
Yeah,
was awesome.
bring it on in. Bring it on. Next one's gonna be a dual hand disaster tracker.
Uh-oh.
This one is a split-screen, single-player twin-stick shooter where the player controls 2 ships simultaneously.
Oh,
Okay.
more brain-breaking things.
Yeah, so dude, this is a friend of mine from El Paso, and he showed me this game at PAX South 2 years ago. He's like, "Hey, I got this prototype. I want you to check it out." And he says that it's single player, but you're playing 2 games simultaneously, one with each stick. And I'm like, I don't think that's really going to work so well. I mean, you've seen some stuff like that, like the. There's been a lot of games where people play with like sort of double stick thing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the PS2 game where you were controlling 2 players up the canyon at the same time.
Yes.
Cookies and cream.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cookies and cream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you remember? Okay.
JC.
What's up, man?
What's up, dude?
What's up? Welcome to the show.
Did you ever play
welcome.
Cookies and Cream?
No, but actually, I've gotten that reference a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
You talk about your game.
Yeah,
Actually, you
someone
should
else
sit
play
here.
it, though.
You should
No?
sit.
What do you think?
Oh.
I'll leave it up to you, Garnet. Who should play?
All right,
Yeah.
Garnet. No pressure. I'll do it.
Actually, no. Here, let me explain. Like, here,
Yeah, do it, please.
should I go left or right?
Do mission, yes, right. Yeah. Hold it
A
down.
dual hand disaster.
Tracker.
ADHD.
Yep. You'll
sure
see
that's
why.
totally accident.
Nope.
Like, oh, wow.
You'll see why, man. So yeah, essentially, Dual Hand Disaster Tracker is basically a twin-stick shooter where you're controlling both ships at the same time. What you want to do, though, is like any score-based game, you want to get the highest score possible. The only thing is, the only way for you to keep your score is meaningless until you leave the level of your own discretion. So if right now Garnet, like on the left side, the HRD doesn't take damage. All you're worried about is fuel consumption. So the right side, there you go. The right side, the DFR is the only one that takes damage. So if the right side's destroyed, it's game over. You have to start over. And you get bonuses for actually, recovering material. That's something I added from PAX South.
Oh, we talked about that. I remember we talked about that.
Exactly.
I'm all about that. Where are my pieces I need to pick up, though?
They're spawning randomly, so you might just have a bad seed. There you go. There's the left ones on the left side. Okay, so what happened there is Garnet ran out of fuel on the left side.
Oh, okay.
So what he needs to do is recover the resources to resync that side. So he has enough parts. All he needs is 2 material, which are the green parts that are scattered around. So the longer you leave this side deactivated, you're losing points. It's 10% of whatever your score is, and you can go into the negative. So
that's nerve-wracking, but awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome because like you can recover from it.
Yeah.
It's a way to keep the player motivated and in motion more than anything.
Find parts.
Yeah. Material. So the green ones, you want to find the little dots. The markers on the ship are actually marking where the material and parts are. Yeah, so the resources. And if you don't get them quick enough, they will deplete. So
Okay.
Yeah, you need one more, and you can dash with the sticks. I don't know if you're familiar with that too. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
So now, he sacrificed resources to bring that side back. But what he wants to make sure that he always has material so that he can sacrifice it to fuel the left ship. Otherwise,
That's
Oh, and by the way, the ships that get past you on the left side are the enemies that come into the right side.
Oh,
so
cool.
You're actually needing to protect. As you can see that my brain doesn't. I do not have a quad-core processor.
They have a Snapdragon.
And I did the same thing. If you hold your finger on the trigger, you wind up depleting your energy really quick. Yeah. So you actually need to be firing.
I thought it was auto-firing.
It is auto-fire, but it's auto-fire where you need to
hold the trigger. Yeah, so because that's something. This game was actually primarily designed on the Vita. So the Vita doesn't have 2 triggers. I originally had the weapons on each individual trigger, and that just became too much to manage.
Right.
So what I did was I designed this system where every weapon is on 1 trigger. So you hold it down for the repeater, you tap it for the scatter shot, which is kind of crowd control type thing, and then you double tap it for missiles when you unlock missiles. And every time you unlock a new weapon, the enemies that you use that weapon on will spawn.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's something I learned from like the way Vlambeer makes their games, right? It's like you always need to find a way to make the player let go of a button. Otherwise, they're just going to spam it and hold on to it, and there's no penalty for it, right? So you also get negative points for hitting the wrong, quote-unquote, wrong enemy. So if you destroy the fuel cells, you're basically missing out on power-ups.
It's kind of a great concept of having kind of less to work with in the beginning when you
weak,
concepting
pathetic
out on
fool.
Vita.
That's really
harsh.
And then kind of
go for it, man.
Oh no!
You got this.
Oh,
You got
man.
this.
Now
You got this. You got this.
Okay, let's do it.
I can do that. So hit left.
Yeah.
Left.
Hit
square.
square.
Square. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, square. All right. This will be interesting.
So it's been so cool to watch JC develop this game because like when he was first showing it, it was just like this, basic prototype. You've probably seen prototype stuff before. It's like very, rudimentary doesn't really, but it had all the mechanics and everything, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is totally working. And now it's like starting to come together with all the visual pieces,
which of course also isn't done yet. So
for
sure.
But like we were talking about, I think that you've hit on something. I mean, I know you were kind of thinking originally this is sort of placeholder art, but I kind of like it.
Oh yeah.
It fits the vibe.
So what I think it just needs though is more visual cues, like more obviously animations, so that you kind of respond to what's going on, right? So right now, like when you're recovering material and you're getting that bonus, you'll notice it just instantly. It's my own design, but what it is it just kind of spawns in real quick, as opposed to like the Call of Duty like jing jing jing, like you did something cool, So I need to work on that stuff, and obviously this is a work in progress. So a lot of this stuff will change in terms of just stuff like
and
that.
I remember we were talking about the whole thing of like showing more connection of zapping across, so that like when enemies get past, you see them somehow, like you get that connection of them jumping into the other screen.
Right.
But still.
All right, Khalif, how does it feel?
It feels nerve-wracking, but also in a great way because I can kind of. It's like weird because you're using your periphery to kind of just like peep things out while you're doing it, which is cool.
So that's kind of what the design revolves around, right? That's why I purposely made it. Like people ask, why don't I make the resources something that you can just like pass through and grab? The reason being is I want you to be able to kind of like sit there, focus on this side real quick while you're retrieving it, and then keep doing that balance. Yeah. The parts take a lot longer to retrieve because those are like the things that unlock your defenses. So right now your defenses are actually offline, if you notice up there on the top right.
Okay.
Defenses are basically like power-ups that let you pull the camera back. There's one that actually slows down time if the fireball gets within a vicinity of you, so that kind of stuff.
I'm liking how when I tried to, when I was shooting towards these enemies on the left, I was hitting the thing I'm supposed to capture. It was like -5, -5. Like, don't do that.
Exactly.
There's a lot of patting my head and rubbing my belly at the same time going on right now, and I'm trying to figure it out, but it's working. I think so. I think I'm doing all right.
So you can hit these moments
Yeah.
where you realize that you're doing two things at the same time, and
then you lose it.
That's exactly it. The worst part is that's the worst part is as soon as you realize you're doing two things, you thought about it and you're like, oh man, it's so well.
There you go. So you have the scatter shot available. Go ahead and just tap the left trigger so you get a feel for it. There you go.
Oh, nice.
So that's it's a good way to. What you want to do is underneath your health bar on the right side, you see you have a 1, 2, 3. There you go. You have damage resistance, which means you activated a multiplier in the center. Now you can kind of focus on this side and be a little careless on the right. So just start chaining enemies to keep that multiplier going. And the higher your multiplier is, the more enemies that'll start spawning in. So you want to use that scatter shot as like a really good way of just crowd control. And the cool thing is, now that I've added this, is once you start recovering the material, you can use that scatter shot and just grab as many points as you can, because your multiplier is 10 times on top of a multiplier that you have active, let alone...
You got your missiles too.
Yeah. So that's double tap.
Double tap?
Yeah. If you use it on the wrong enemy though, you will reset the multiplier. So those voids in the back are worth the most points of anything. And that's what you can destroy with the missile.
Right,
well, it's so hard to explain even while you guys are playing it. Yeah, it's insane.
I'd love to know, like, people who watch this on the stream, I'd love to know, like, what they're thinking, like,
as
they're watching this.
Yeah.
Because it is
Do you get it? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to, like, play it while you're doing it, but I wonder how that's going to...
Oh, all right. Yeah, so the other thing also is, obviously, Twitch integration is, like, super cool. And Garnet, I like how you kind of expanded on this also. The way Twitch has just been like this. The thing about being able to have...
stuff like that.
the way like a lot of people are getting into watching people play games, right? But there's nobody really pushing that interactivity with the community.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in, and I've designed this from the beginning because this is what I wanted the game to be. There's going to be a community boss mode.
Ooh, nice.
So what that's going to be is, have you guys played iDarb?
Yes.
Okay, you know how people can jump in, mess with your game. So it's not going to be that level of intensity because iDarb is insane.
It's nuts.
Yeah, like the screen goes black, the Sega logo comes out, all sorts of stuff. But what I want to do is, so if someone's watching you play this right now, they can hashtag the game and be like reverse controls or something. So now left is right, right is left. And it's all on timers so that you can kind of, if you survive it, the community is the boss. If you survive it, you get bonuses.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's like exactly right there.
Yeah.
Nice.
And also, there, I had the mode working on a second control, so I might maybe do it as like a second controller type thing. But I really want it to be more of a Twitch thing, where, also, instead of shooting up, they'll switch your screen, so now you're shooting down. The right side will be on the left side will be on the right. Yeah.
Man, that's gonna be cool.
It's like you're saying, Garnet, like you need to have, you need to get people watching, give them something to do, and it'll engage them even more. I mean, I do, I would love to see stuff like that.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
I'm dying to see you play this on your stream, Garnet. That's gonna be crazy when that happens.
Dude, I mean...
I am aiming for Fire TV.
Yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
You have our full support, obviously. I mean, that's why we're backing all these games and making sure that you guys get lots of love.
I'm gonna be forever grateful for this, Garnet. Seriously, man. Like, I don't know if
all
you
good,
guys
brother.
know, I've respected Garnet.
Stop. Don't do that.
It's awesome. So it's
Don't
like,
do that.
no,
legend.
it needs to be said, man. You're my boy. You're my boy.
All right. I'm glad I got
How do you feel right now?
I'm glad I got a feel for that. Now I need to like sort of like reorient myself.
So, yeah, so real quick, go ahead and, or do you want me to go ahead and take over?
Okay. I just want to just we have like 1 minute.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do is make sure, really quick, see if I could do this.
Oh man, we should
Let's
have been
get
zipping
this
around.
part.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah, so yeah, you can do the sticks and start.
So you click the stick in, but the thing that I find is not playing it enough, only playing like builds here and there, is you get going really fast and you like crash into stuff, you crash into the fireballs, and you start, it starts being a mess.
That's good to know though that you have that kind of ability to kind of zoom around the map
before we're
too.
getting cut off. I just want to get a score so you guys see exactly what happens.
Oh, what do you have to get to get a score?
You need 4 parts in your inventory.
Oh, okay.
Extract ready comes out. Hold down up on the D-pad and up triangle. So your score is how much enemies you destroyed, multiplied to how much material you recovered, and that's your final score.
Oh, okay.
I like
Because remember, you don't get a score until you pull out.
Right.
So it's like you gotta know when to like make that move and be like, okay, this has gotten too intense. I'm gonna bank this score. It's like big money. No way.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very cool. You said
I
you
like
originally designed it for Vita.
Yeah.
Still coming to Vita?
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, it was actually announced today for Sony for PlayStation 4 and PS Vita.
Very cool.
Very
And
cool.
of course, the Amazon Fire TV.
Rock and roll, bro.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, thank you so much for bringing the game by.
Thank you, guys.
A dual hand disaster.
Which, by the way, is ADHD.
HD. I see what they did there. All right, we're gonna switch JC out. We're gonna bring on. So Nathan is coming up next. Is Nathan here? Yeah. No.
No.
Not Nathan. But someone
Nathan is
from
the designer.
Mommy's Best Games is gonna be here for Piggy Ball, action puzzle game about eating, getting fat, and barfing.
Yeah.
The three.
I watched the
best
trailer the other
parts
day and I was like, that is kind of awesome.
Of any game. So Garnet, tell us, you're with Amazon Game Studios now?
Well, not Game Studios. So I'm with Amazon App Store. So we have like all kinds of game stuff that we do there, right? And I'm now, I hate the title so bad, but I'm a gaming evangelist. Could someone in the world come up with a better title for people who advocate for things than evangelist? Because it just sounds...
That's kind of a... Well, no, it sounds good.
No, it doesn't.
I think it sounds cool.
It sounds pretentious.
It sounds great.
It sounds super pretentious.
Yeah,
What do you do?
the
Oh, I'm an
gaming-
evangelist.
Yeah, well...
But it's great. I mean, so right now my job is literally to go out and find awesome indie games, talk to the developers, help work with them on their design and their plans. When they want it, help them with like how do they do their project management, whatever it takes for them to get over the hump to get a great game to all platforms. The wonderful thing about Amazon is that we've been really open and upfront about, hey, Fire TV is just a platform, and we want to be part of the mix. We don't really want to own. Like, we're not looking for exclusives.
Sure.
Matter of fact, for us, looking at indie titles, because they are, there's tons of them and they're sort of niche in the first place, the more platforms, the better. Like, every place that these guys have a chance to make $1, they need a chance.
Sure. Yeah,
So.
speaking of, this is Piggy Ball.
Yes.
Let's jump right into the game here. What are we looking at?
So yeah, it's a space pig, Bo, and probably let you. Sorry.
Okay, sure.
So Bo is basically collecting all the tennis balls on the level, and as she eats, she gets fatter, and you have to sometimes barf up the tennis balls that you've collected so that you can get through parts of the level. So as you can see, we're just kind of, so there's an press A to boost, and you can break through different blocks. So now here, he's stuck, so you got to press the A button to barf up the balls that you've ate before.
The barf mechanic's good.
Yeah, multi-layered particle effects there.
The top-down barfing.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of
that view,
kind of a twist on maybe Miss Pac-Man, that kind of thing, where Nathan, Mommy's Best Games, he, kind of wanted to do a fun twist on that. So this idea that you're still collecting pellets in the level, but they're bouncing around, and you get fatter as you collect the balls.
So a lot of the level design, it seems like, comes down to how do you capture the pig on one side and then force the issue of puking them to the other to get away?
Yeah, and so what's interesting, that's kind of like World 1. So where there's 6 worlds to the game, and so that first level world is kind of like explaining, how this collecting these balls work and managing that, and really knowing when to barf and how to manage and avoid things.
I mean, that's actually great advice for anyone here for GDC week. You should probably know when to barf.
But then all the other worlds basically expand and add all kinds of new mechanics and new bosses and characters that you meet. So it's a really big single-player campaign.
Do the green barfed balls mean anything?
Yeah, so if you
differently to
eat
the
too many of those, then you barf up again. You get sick. So you want to maybe let them settle and collect
Don't
the yellow
re-barf.
ones. Yeah, don't re-barf.
Nice.
Re-barf to barf. Yeah. But it's we'll have basically 40 levels for each of those worlds. So we're up to over 240 levels.
Wow.
And it's you just kind of add one thing, and you can add so many different varieties of combining different mechanics and different enemies.
It's like, here, I gotta be fast.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So this one's timed, and so you're gonna bust through.
I'm going to do it.
Oh.
And this there's some spikes. Do you want to avoid those? But then also some pill bugs that kind of spin. When they're spinning, they suck in the balls.
I'm not gonna make it.
Oh.
What's the green thing back here that I
That's a shield. So if you get that, now you've got a shield. And so you can kind of.
But I did not clear the timer, did I?
No, you've got a decent amount of time. You've got about 2 minutes.
Are these, what are these? Are these soda cans? What are these dancing objects, these guys?
They're pill bugs.
Pill bugs, okay.
Yeah, so, space pigs, pill bugs, the king cake. There's all kinds of fun stuff to explore. So you want to collect that last ball up there. And then it'll break through, so you can boost through now. Yeah. So there's all kinds of checkpoints and kind of things that make sure you know where to go.
I can definitely see the kind of Miss Pac-Man inspiration there. It's great. I love that.
So it's a
Sorry,
fun new twist.
I'm less up on this game because we literally just talked to Nathan last week
Yeah,
about this game.
So it's Mommy's best games, and they love pie. So he said he's off eating pie
for Pie Day.
Pie Day.
Yeah.
So they.
I mean, as well, you should be really.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I don't know what we're doing here.
But it was great that we could come by and kind of last minute.
Yeah.
No, this is great.
And it's kind of a cool story. Actually, Nathan started this on Java, of
Really?
all things.
Wow.
Yeah. And you did all of the conversion to bring it over to Unity.
Yeah, so that was kind of the thing, is that it was a sort of a game jam game, and it was a small thing where there's a multiplayer component, and you can basically fight over the balls and bump into people to cause them to puke. But so that was a small game jam game, and so many people liked it, and then Nathan just kept working on it, and it became this big thing. And it's been 3 years basically of developing all these levels and characters and worlds that here's a boss fight, and he just wanted to get it out on as many platforms and get it to as many people as possible. So my studio helped with Nathan to port it over to Unity, and then Unity allows us to get it onto pretty much every platform.
Oh, game jams, man. They're making the world move in a really interesting way.
Yeah, awesome.
Look at that.
Yeah,
nicely done.
I solved the boss level.
Yeah, you
Nicely done.
That is.
It's like I knew what I'm doing.
That is Pig Eat Ball.
Yeah.
Coming to PC this year?
Yeah, so we're going to Steam Early Access in about a month, and then later this year we'll have console and PC release. So yeah, we're gonna have lots of stuff this year.
Awesome. Thank you so much for bringing it.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's making sandwiches. So basically, there's so many different modes on there.
Yeah.
And lots of varieties.
Very cool.
Cool. Thank you so much for bringing the game by.
Yeah, thanks.
Really cool.
We have one more game to show you today before our time together is over. This is Gurgoth. This is an aerial combat game?
That area. I don't even know what I would call it. Well, you're just going to have to see it. So this is a 4-player last person standing game.
Okay.
Oh.
And it's super simple. As a matter of fact, what's really cool is these guys, we're going to meet Patrick on the team. They started off and they were showing us this game called Rust Belt. And I'm like, man, this Rust Belt game is really cool. And while they were working on Rust Belt, they put together this game as just like a lark on the side, started playing it, and it's like, I'm going to let Patrick tell the rest of the story, but he's like, holy heck, this is so great. Everyone just gets into it, immediately jams on it. It's super simple. So it's a 4-player combat game, and the screen, or the level that you're in each time, is the primary weapon. So for instance, the edges on one of them are dangerous, but they're covered in rocks, so you'll have all these spines. And the first thing you have to do is knock someone into the wall to break the rocks. That exposes the spines. The next time you knock them into the spines, they get killed. Another one has a giant asteroid in the center, and you tap the asteroid, and it starts firing lasers. And then the object, of course, is to smash the other players into the lasers. It's a bump game, so you're bumping into
That's
each
cool.
other. There's only 2 controls.
All
one
right.
for boost, and one to make yourself temporarily like pass through for a dodge move. There's
Interesting.
Patrick.
All right, yeah, we're joined by Patrick here.
Patrick, hey.
We were just talking about your game.
Yeah, it's fantastic to have someone else explain it for me. It's like, wow, yeah, that was a good job.
Are we all gonna? How many people are gonna play this? Fall
Yeah,
forward?
yeah.
I don't know. It's the last one.
Yeah, last game. Last
Look,
game
Twitch
of the
people, be
evening.
patient with us.
Yeah, here we go.
Purple's no good.
We're gonna play
Purple's
some.
no good.
Oh, the purple's no good.
All right.
This
No,
one
purple's good. This one that I'm
is
pulling on,
Yeah, that's
no good. Purple's good.
awesome.
Nice.
right.
Purple is good.
Excellent.
We're hooking up. The last game of the evening. This is gonna be
Oh, I gotta do one thing. Sorry, guys.
Gurgoth.
We got to switch to the other game.
Yeah, we have to switch to
So,
the actual game.
Patrick, how'd you guys come to the name Gurgoth?
Oh, that was our artist. So we built it in a 48-hour game jam. It was the PlayFab Seattle Game Jam. And after one day, I came in and there was just a drawing of eyes on the whiteboard, and underneath it, the line "Gurgoth lives." And that was actually the original name of the game. Like all of us unanimously were like, "That's the name." And so, over time, it just shortened to Gurgoth because that's what we were calling it anyway.
All right, we're selecting our cultists.
It feels like when you talked about the kind of theory behind it, it feels like the Mortal Kombat pit stage.
It totally is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It feels like
yeah,
that.
it totally is.
This is Arctic.
I
This
think
is
I'm
the
like the
perfect
first
level.
player here.
So this is what I was telling you about.
Yeah.
So obviously spines, but the spines are protected by ice, so you gotta break through the ice, and then you can knock the other players into it. So you'll see little dots over the top of your character,
Okay.
and that is basically your fuel cells. Every time you dash, it burns a dot. Every time you dodge, it burns a dot. And then they recover back. So if you burn all of them up, you won't be able to dodge.
Oh, I'm so used to being green.
I've got your green right here, buddy. And this has got the modifier in it. There's the, I already got outed. And by the way, it's going to be tough for people watching us because what happens inevitably when people start playing this is that right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
My dodge skills are there.
There you go.
More rock.
Come out strong. You've played this before.
No, in my mind, in my dreams.
But the beauty of the game is it's just super. It's that easy to get into.
Yeah.
But really, like a lot. It has like a. Well, I mean, obviously a full-on Smash Bros. Element to it.
Oh yes.
All right. You guys, you're just letting us win. We're the noobs.
But I love how quick the rounds go. That's awesome. That's really fun.
It was built around that concept of like we wanted things to happen very quickly, and also like if you get knocked out, we wanted you to get back in the game very soon. Oh man, this is my favorite power-up. This lets you really do things precisely.
And I love how visceral the kind of bumping into the world moves and looks and feels.
It took a while to nail that. Like when we started out, the game was actually 50% faster than it is now, and it was almost unplayable. It was like watching a bunch of flies like buzz around, and people would just end up killing themselves.
Right into the asteroid. Oh, nicely done, nicely done.
My goal, typically playing with these guys, because they play it all day long while they're working on it every day, is just to like get on the scoreboard. If I get on the scoreboard, I'm like, all right, I'm happy. That's pretty cool. I'm good with that.
I'm sure a great strategy is to kind of wait people out.
That is one of them. I think when you first start playing the game, everyone's very enthusiastic and they just want to get in the mix. But over time, the game slows down, and not because of any of the mechanics, but just because you're like, wait a minute, it's probably not a wise idea if I jump in the middle of 3 people.
It's so close.
If you're spamming your button, does it lock you out? Is that what's happening with the red X?
So you run out of ammo.
Okay.
So
The
it
three
is actually,
dots?
if you time your spam correctly, you can cover a huge portion of the map and knock someone into spikes. But it is strategic. We started out without that functionality, and it was just a spam fest. And so we limited that. We tried a couple different methods of limiting that, but in the end, this was the best.
Ouch. I kind of love how this feels like pool in some ways. I kind of love that because it feels like, all right, if I bank you into this particular part, I can like get you into the corner pocket where I want you and kill you. I love that feeling. That's awesome. And it looks like Since I won the previous round, that I didn't have as many dots to begin the round.
Yeah, there is an auto balancing feature that you can turn off if that's not your.
Oh no!
That's awesome.
Oh, nice finisher.
That's cool.
Nice finisher.
That's great.
Yeah, it's on the board.
That's great.
You know, another thing that's really cool about the game, it's sort of a, I mean, I don't mean to sound self-promotional, but these guys are one of the first projects that's completely coming out of the Seattle Indie Games Workshop.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is a co-working space that's down near the stadium in Seattle. Chris Floyd from Indie Mega Booth runs it.
It's a fantastic space.
It's really turned out really well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a really cool thing.
We were at another co-working space in downtown Seattle that we loved, but it was full of other startups. It was very, what is it, like tight-laced? Yeah. And like this feels so much more like our space. It's like a garage right down in the Soto, and I'm not gonna let you. Oh,
nice.
What was that? Not gonna what? What?
He was talking. I was just sitting here and focusing.
I'm sure that must be awesome to like walk around and like have other devs you can kind of.
Oh, it's fantastic! Like, cause we have like Feedback Thursdays where you can show off what you're working on and get like other devs like looking at your projects and giving you feedback on what.
Ooh. What is spawning the laser?
So those are power-ups. There's 7 different power-ups, I think. 3 of them are weapons. One of them is a big smash ball, Cletus. One's an ice grenade.
Of course it's Cletus. Of course it's Cletus.
And then one is the laser, and you can hit the laser 3 times. Oh, this.
I got done by the spike ball. Look out for the spike ball, fellas. It's going fast.
Wait it out.
Iced right into it.
Wait it out.
You?
More rock.
More rock.
You're a natural Gurgoth player.
You know, it's like dancing in the club. You got to bump.
Maybe another good level in here.
I'm afraid that's actually all the time we have.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we're actually a few minutes over schedule here. But
Well, you guys, you can get this right now on Steam.
Right now.
You can get this right now on Steam. Yeah, it's already out on Steam. So
that is a super fun game. So
that was a lot.
Yeah, thanks for playing it.
No, I don't have to wait long to play some more. Guys, thank you so much for doing this. This was really fun. That was 11 upcoming indie games in 2 hours and change. So for more on all the games that you saw here tonight, stay tuned to IGN. And for more, for all things video games, you're already in the right place. IGN.com. Welcome to IGN's super cool, totally rad. Game live stream from the Game Developers Conference. I'm Damon Hatfield. I'm joined by a very special guest, Khalif Adams, for the Spawn on Me podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.